But no, Beth York goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory. Hello everybody and welcome here to the CVRcade Solo Cup. It has been a very long time, at least it feels like it's been a very long time since I've been here behind the camera in front of the microphone, but can we just give a massive shout out to Aaron Starlin, who's been covering Zone T, and earlier today to Beth York for standing in here and helping out, making sure that this show keeps moving on the road. So today, you may have noticed, it's the CVRcade Solo Cup. The CVRcade World Cup has moved to Saturday. So on Tuesdays, we've got the Solo Cup, the CVRcade Solo Cup. Now the way this race is that everybody is an individual. They race for their own position, their own points over 4 events, over 4 races. They'll accumulate points towards an overall standing that will keep you updated on in real time. Whoever scores the most amount of points at the end of the 4 events will win $30. And that will be the same every week for 7 weeks, I believe, before the grand finale. So we'll go through this again and again and again, and if you're racing with us right now, because I know a few of you are listening on a physical replay, you're getting ready to race, well, just think, put yourself in the mindset that you're also racing for the $30 on display. But we've got riders broadcasting in from across the world, as always. We've got Casey Shum in the building today of Team Cycling Hub. He's ready, he's rocking the matching jersey in real life. We've got Tim Fulford, who already raced one zone earlier today. He took home $20 preliminary already. Then we have Quintin Molyneux, who won the zone earlier today, and pending official results, he looks to be taking home $30 already on the day. Carl Axel Sander, who prior to the racing, we had a quick discussion. Would you ever think about moving your camera position? He went, no, Jesper. This position, it gives me extra watts. It doesn't, but you know, Carl Axel Sander just likes this position. We've got Jennifer Garcia as well racing in here in Zone K. She's been left to her own devices by Ben and by Timothy. Rumor has it they wanted weaker competition later on in Zone L, but somewhere Vibeke, Homer, and a few others are going, nah, just you wait. We've got Tam Burns of Team Cryogen, and I see Tam Burns as a competitor. He's equalized, you can see the happy smiles. Got a few more to go. 1 minute before the racing begins. Tam, how are you feeling?
1 minute. Yeah, we'll see how we start. You know, I've got to try and keep the home on this time, unless he falls out again.
Well, there'll be no falling in this one, Tam. 50 seconds to go. Good luck. We got Tam. I like seeing the big smile from our Scottish rider. It's been a while since we've had a Scottish rider in the broadcast, which was, what was his name? Sorry, it was Chris Pritchard. That's who it was. We've also got Jeff Rooney to round out the broadcast here. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the broadcasted riders here on the screen, but we've got several other riders in the race. I see we've got Ryan Goldenberg, we've got Tammy Woods, we've got Thomas Tibbling, we've got Ed Laverick, who I now also believe is also a CADE competitor, meaning that the system has faith and confidence in him. I see Homer Thompson is on the start line. I see Phil Lovett is on the start line. Ladies and gentlemen, today, this is gonna be fireworks. CVRcade Solo Cup. We're no longer racing in the run-up. We're no longer racing for experience and for training. Now, it is for cold, hard cash, American US dollars. So here we go. Off to the races we go. The first race up here is the low-skill event of the day. It has Uncrashable, it has Corner Caber and Quantum Shift, all as abilities, and you're given one comeback kit. This often ends in a sprint finish. Now, the winner of the race will take home 30 points in this race. So we'll see Ed Laverick, Tammy Woods further to the back here. Now this is Ed Laverick's first race as a competitor, I do believe. So he may be thinking that he doesn't stand within a chance because he's a CVRcade cadet. He's a competitor, but it looks like he's already out the back with Thomas Tibbling as well. He's going to have to execute his comeback kit very soon if he wants to get back in. We see Jennifer Garcia also with her comeback kit. So for 45 seconds, or until she catches the first rider ahead of her, she'll be given an extra 367 equalized watts. So Jennifer from the gun here being caught out. And this is very unlike Jennifer to not be aware, be awake at the start of the racing. So can she recover? I think the answer is yes in this event. But as we look across 4 events, this effort right here is going to come back to haunt her. Moving up to the group ahead of us, we have got Carl Axel Sander making up the back end of the troop. He's sitting in, and when you look at the, equalized heart rate changes or discrepancies between these riders, you'll see Tam at the front at 187, so he is quite high up there. You got Quinton Molyneux at 164. Homer is down, further down. I like that Carl still doesn't have a heart rate monitor strapped on, and you need that. You need that in order to qualify for the points, to qualify for the money, because it's in the rules. But here we go, 400 meters to the line. Tim on the right, Quinton on the left. These two went head-to-head this morning in Sony, and now they go again. The first sprint has been launched. Casey's going, Tam's going, Tim's going. It's just very early to come to the front for Quinton Molyneux. Tim stands up. It's Jeff Rooney. It's Tim coming on through, but I think it's going to be Tam Burns with the victory. I think Tam Burns of Team Cryogen takes the first event of the day, hitting 200 equalized heart rate. You can see him saying some words in there. Oh my goodness, that is an effort and a half. We've got the instant replay. Let's have a look. We'll let Tam catch his breath and we'll go to him in just a second. So, on this instant replay, you see it winding up. Tam, from the gun, never really seemed to let go of the front of the group. He was happy to lead by the example, and when the sprint begins here, I think Quinton comes to the front too early. I think Tim might come to the front. By the looks of this, at least, I think they might be coming to the front, and then they can't really come through the group. Casey's got momentum, but at the end, it is Mr. Tam Burns who goes on to take the victory, and we get the celebration here again as he realizes he's got it. That is a man who's had a deep-fried Mars bar. He's had his glass of Iron Brew. Tam, first victory on CVRcade. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's easy, mate.
Easy. Well, that sprint, you riding physically equalized. You've been a cadet, now you're a competitor. What's it like to be up there and be able to ride with Tim, with Quinton, with Casey and the rest?
It's far better, mate. It's, as a cadet, it's quite demoralising at first. And you see everyone just go straight off the front, and now you can keep there. It's far better. Anyway, Jesper, you hear me?
I can hear you. I think everybody can hear you now, Tam. Come out here, showing up, but now you've got the long race. We've got tempo run, 3 laps. How is the long-term endurance, Tam?
Yeah, I'll see now I've equalised. I'll see if I can suck some wheels for a short while and see how it goes. And use our friend Homer as a marker or a gauge.
Well, I like how that's going. Tam, before we go on to the next, who do you think is your biggest competitor at this point? Looking at that start list, who do you think you don't want to be in the front with?
Probably Casey. I think Tim maybe a while ago was a contender, but it's a bit of a has-been now, isn't it?
Well, on that note, let's go and chat to Tim, because Tim came 6th on the line. He was in the sprint finish. Tam, giving you a bit of credit, then taking it all away at the end by saying has been. What do you make of Tam?
It's brilliant to have Tam in. I'm listening through a couple of pair of headphones and stuff, so I can't actually hear what Tam is saying very well. But yeah, to say I was in that sprint is complete lies. I had like 1,400 equalised and absolutely nowhere near in that sprint. Like, couldn't do much more. So as I just said in chat, I smell an equalisation perhaps on Tam's curve because he was on the front 3 laps there. So fair play to him.
What do you mean by smell and equalization?
Well, it's the great thing about CVRcade is that it'll measure your efforts and it'll equalize it all down. So I doubt Tam has ever been in that situation before, racing against however many people there were in that sprint finish. And it makes you go to new levels because everyone is able to put out equal amount of speed, I suppose, because the watts are equalized. But as always, when you see those high numbers, it tends to the equalization tends to get to work after that. So congrats to Tam. It's great to see him on the platform. Great to see him winning. But Temple Run is a completely different beast.
Knowing Tam, I think he'll take those words and he'll be like, watch this, Tim. But we'll see. Casey was the other rider mentioned in this. Casey, Tam is the newcomer. He fears you the most. What do you think?
Tam has a lot to learn. He's about ready to get kicked in the gut with the equalization, but that's great. New rider, it's a lot of fun. I'm with Tim. I went hard there, so enjoy the wave while you're on top of it because you're about to get swallowed by it, Tim. But love to see him on the platform. It'll be a lot of fun here. We're out here having some fun. It's early in the season, so you just get the points you can get.
Now, we are racing for $30 on the top. You get 20 for second, 15, etc. Does this mean in this race, Cycling Hub look to each man to their own? Or how does that work within the team? Because you're all so great as individuals.
This isn't a team race, right?
Well, I know, but you've got the numbers out there. You see a friend. Is there any considerations across the individuals?
Oh, no. I'm going to kick their ass.
That's what I like to hear. We'll see more from Casey, from Tam, from Tim as the racing begins. Casey saying he's going to kick some butt here coming up with the next race. Temple Run is the next race. You get 2 weight lifteds, which make you 30 kilograms lighter for 10 seconds. You get 2 quantum shifts, which gives this massive yellow thing that moves around you like a sphere, and that makes it so you can phase through other riders, and you get 2 racer edges. So we've got Jeff Rooney using a few of the powers as a weight lifted and a racer edge currently on display here. Thank you very much. Jeff's like the kid at the front of the class when the teacher's trying to explain something. He's like, I've got the answer. I've got the answer. Everybody loves him, but everybody secretly goes, come on, Jeff, you gotta be a show-off. We know you know the answer. We'll see if Jeff can put some of that into the racing here. So I see in the chat, we've got Lantrell Storm, we've got Venom, we've got Mansuni, we've got Farquhar, we've got Allison, we've got Dudat Athlete, we've got CVR World Cup, Crucial Bowl, Tim, and Quinton. Now here we go with some more racing. Can Tam Burns replicate what he just did in the first race of the day? You heard Tim, you heard Casey say that equalization might start to kick in on here for Tam Burns of Team Cryogen, but you've got that endorphins rushing, you've got the feeling of success as Rick Woods goes down. This is 3 laps. This is going to be a hard 3 laps on this one. As we can see on the front, it's Jennifer Garcia. I think she's trying to make up for the effort on the previous race. She was quickly out the back, and looks like Tammy Woods has just gone up the front. Tim Fulford is following this move. We have seen in the past where some of the ladies getting on the platform, like Elizabeth, like Corrine, they are absolute machines when it comes to putting down watts for a prolonged period of time. When it comes to suffering, they can most certainly do it. And Tim, recognizing this, fairly eager, wasn't very happy about his sprint in the first race, pushing down 1,400 equalized watts, didn't really get much, so he passes Tammy. We've got Tam Burns down, Tam Burns, and Tim is waving. Tim is waving to Tam Burns. Let's see, we've got Tam's audio. Tam, why did you go down?
I tried to change lane.
Well, I guess you won't make that mistake again now because you're with the bot patrol. Come on, Tam, get back on the horse and ride here. Our virtual leader after the first race is now down into 6th place on the racing here. So we move to the front. You heard what Casey said. Race 1, every man for themselves. They're all racing for the money. Tim has got weight lifted on. Jennifer at the back as well with a racer's edge. Now is the time to make the moves if you want to come on through. So Jennifer feeling the effects here from the previous race, but she's got 51 kilometers an hour. She moves out of the way of Tammy. She's got Carl, she's got Jeff on the inside here. This is just the first lap of racing, and it's already heating up here. We see Carl Axel Sander, who still isn't riding with a heart rate monitor. Frank has said this, Tim has said this, I think it has been brought up after the head-to-head here. The rules do state that you need a heart rate monitor in order to be eligible to score points. So Carl, right now, out on track, racing, but I don't think he will be in the official results come the end. So I do urge everybody racing to make sure they have a heart rate strap on to race. Now, it's fascinating to see Ed Laverick in here because Ed has been working so hard to become a CADE competitor. You'll see his signs of valor, I'd almost want to say, on his shoulder. He's come out, and he's come out to play. He was very excited to make the jump up to a CVRcade cadet or to a CADE cadet. He's gone on to the attack. Tim Fulford is trying to bridge, but Ed Laverick has Tim Fulford on the verge here of a 200 equalized heart rate. You can see Tim, second zone of the day here, being followed by Casey as well, down in third. This is going to be a heavy hitter Omnium. You can already feel the zone here is really pushing down some watts early. It is the CVRcade Solo Cup, Zone K, here on February the 11th, a Tuesday. You've got to score as many points as possible across the 4 races in order to be at the top at the end. And winner takes home $30. But let's not forget the big picture as well, because we are looking towards the grand finale in week 8. The winner of the grand finale in week 8 of the CVRcade Solo Cup will take home $3,000. Second place, $1,750, and then third place will take home $1,000. There's more money as well further down, but this is too much action to get to it. Quinton, $130 provisionally so far this morning. Now at 197 equalized heart rate, that goes to 200. He's going to find himself in a very, very tough situation here where usually you would rely on your teammates. You see number 4 right in front of Quinton? That's Casey. They would, for any other race, any other day, any other competition really, they would be teammates. But now in the CVRcade Solo Cup, they are racing for individual glory here. As we can see, I see Luis is joining us in the chat. Peter Castro is joining us in the chat. It is good to have you guys in the broadcast. Now, side by side, we've got Tim on the right. You got Casey on the left. British and American. These two here, how do they play it? How do they play this one out? Because they've got to think about the next hill up. They've got to think going forward as well. As we've got Carl Axel Sander joining the group. We've got Ed Laverick just on the back. And we're seeing a rider being spat. That is Jeff Rooney. Jeff Rooney's going to have to fight to get back on. Now, Jeff did show us how to use the power-ups in the warm-up. Can he get back on here with it here? Is that 195? This has been an incredibly fast hill. And if you are racing right now in the physical replay, this is where you dig in. Because you've survived the first time on the descent. Riders like Casey, like Tim, like Quinton, they have practiced it time and time again. And this is where, while you rest, they're just going to bring out the gap. They're going to stretch out the group. And they're going to try and find a way to make it tougher here, as we're going to see what's happening. Now, I do hear from the support team, based on the comments in the chat, they will have another look here at Carl Axel Sanders' heart rate. As Ed Laverick goes down, Jeff Rooney goes down in the exact same moment. You have a 1-2 crash bonanza. Ed Laverick, Jeff Rooney, we've got the replay coming up. Ed slides out, hits the end of the road, and you can just see Jeff as well. So they come into the corner, they go too quickly, and then they slide out. Jeff Rooney here is going to have to catch up. He's in 6th place currently, forced to use his Racer's Edge. If we bring down the top of the scoreboard, the top 3 currently out on track, you'll see that Quentin Molinese is leading. He's got 96. Tim has got 82. Casey at 80.5. You've got Carl Axel Sanders 78.5. And Tam, who is not out of it yet. We look down here into the chasing group, and Tam Burns is riding with the bot patrol. He's with Oroville, he's with Beatrix. Well, he just lost Oroville to the left here, so 1 member down. This is where Cryogen needs to be on the course. You got Tam Burns. He's like, Bruce McDonald, where are you? Scotty Weiss, where are you? Where's all the rest of you? He's gonna need help. Gary Twist, as we'll see, Tam Burns move through Beatrice here. So, entering the 2nd lap of the racing here, Quentin Molinese already having 1 good race in the legs here. What will the 2nd zone of the day give him? Because this is where you got to go really, really deep. This is the long race. You've got 2.5 scoring multiplier for this. And then you've got up next Sci-Fi R Loop, which is no easy task. That is a very difficult race to race with a technical little bend at the end. There's a hill. Also, there's wind in it, and it's got 1.5 scoring multiplier. So every single point matters as Casey accelerates to 600 here. Him and Tim are on the front. So I don't know the official word on Carl Axel Sander. I will relay that to the support team, to the executive commissioners. So we will treat this broadcast as if Carl's heart monitor might be working. So again, preliminary, could be official. We will let the team decide, of course, as always, as everything gets checked. But for the time being, everything you see on the screen is preliminary, and everything does go through a results analyzing team at the end, of course. So do keep that in mind when you're watching the broadcast. Casey, though, on the 2nd ascent of Temple Run Hill, he's putting in a bit of a dig here. Tim had to move to the back of the group. Let's see what's happening here on the front. I got Glenn in the chat asking, what did I miss? Well, you missed the Iron Brew machine that was Tam Burns on event 1 of the day. The Kayla's Mountain Track in the sprint. He had 1,700 equalized watts. Came on through, took the first victory. You can see the full scoreboard on the left. On the right, you've got the riders nearby list. So Casey being pushed to the side here, and Quentin is taking advantage of this. Tim putting Carl and Casey up against the boards, and Quentin is coming on through. I think Quentin is looking to capitalize on this. Hold your hands and hats and whatever else. I was trying to think of hats, but I said hands for some reason. Hold hands. Find somebody near you. Make sure to keep their hands nice and warm, because Quentin Molinese right now is putting in what could be a race-winning attack. He won solo in Zone E. He got away from the rest. I think Tim and Casey might be looking to Carl Axel Sander. It is a solo cup, but you can't leave your emotions at the door. You just can't do that. We've got Casey here in 2nd. Let's check in with Casey again quickly. Casey, situation here. Quentin, let him go or catch him?
I can't keep up with that. That's too hard. He can go. If he's got that, he can go.
There you've got it. Casey Shum saying if Quentin has got it. Let's see if Tim has got audio. I'm not sure if he does. We'll try Tim. Casey says he doesn't have it. Do you have it?
I certainly don't have it, but Carl doesn't have a heart rate monitor, so his result's null and void. So well, I'm just looking at Ed.
Looking at Ed is Tim. Now, as Carl hears that or sees that, he does go on to the attack. So Casey and Tim both saying they might not have it left here. So we're going to see what's happening here as we go on to the attack. Carl catches up to Quentin and passes him. Again, Carl does not have a functioning heart rate in the game. But again, every result is pending official results. Now, at a first glance, of course, you heard Tim say it, it will null and void. That is how it's worked in the past, and it'll most likely be how it also stands at the end of the day. But I encourage everybody to keep racing until the end. You always want to put your best foot forward, and if you can eliminate any possibilities in the race, then you want to do it. You want to make sure to put your best foot forward. Quentin has hit 200 equalized heart rate. He's got Carl slowing down. If we got that on the replay, Carl Axel Sander pulled a great move there as he was going to go right into the rocks. Quinten has him boxed in, and Carl knows this. Look at him as he slows down to 200 equalized watts, 36 moves on in. A less skilled rider may have just ridden the wave, thought about another descent, thought about another turn, but Carl Axel Sander saw that corner, saw that rock was coming up, and navigated it brilliantly. Now, Carl has been our nearly man. He's been up there, he's been fourth, he's been third, he's crashed, he's not had a functioning heart rate monitor. When are we gonna see the Swede rise to the top as Casey, Quinten, and Carl Axel Sander make our front group of three here? Now, bringing down the scoreboard, you will see, and I think Carl, he's got his keyboard up on the top shelf there. I'm not sure it's the best move, but he's looking up. I'm not sure what he's looking at here. He's looking at his something, looking up at the top. It could be his monitor. He might have a second monitor up above. But as we look at the scoreboard, Quinten leading at 96, Casey at 88, Carl's 83.5, and with Tim Fulford dropped from the group down in fourth, he also sees himself fourth on the scoreboard at 69.5. Oh, Niels Heldens is saying in the chat, IKEA level home design. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the optimal ergonomics of a CVRcade or racing setup. Now, it may be like, oh, we've got to move here. Carl Axel Sander's going to have to use his quantum shift. He doesn't use it. Casey Shum, put him up against the barriers. Load that one up again on the replay. Because once more, the Team Cycling Hub riders try pushing him up against the barriers. You see Casey riding the outside of Carl. And then coming on through, Carl slows down. Now, you do have two quantum shifts. You have two quantum shifts if necessary. They make you phase through riders, not obstacles, riders. And so if Carl needed to, he could pop it and come on through here. As we're going to see, Quinten Molyneux on the front again. I think this is where we might see the winner. It feels like, as we head into the last lap on Tempo Run, that it is Quinten versus Carl. The way they raced it, it has been ecstatic, and hearing from Casey, hearing from Tim, that Quinten has just been on another level for this one when he attacked on the last hill. That is maybe where we'll see it, but there's power-ups left. Oh, bring that one up on the replay again. That is a very hairy moment there. You can see Quinten just touching his face, a bit of nerves coming through. They changed lanes at the exact same time, I believe, which then results in a non-crash situation. Usually, when you turn into another rider, you will crash, but not if it's at the exact time or near the exact same time. As we come, oh, never mind, we've got an attack. Carl Axel Sander will not let it rest. Last lap here on Tempo Run. We've got two more races after this in the zone, and they're racing for money. Winner of the Omnium, so on the scoreboard, the person with the highest total score at the end will take $30. Second place takes 20, third place takes 15, fourth takes 10, and fifth takes 5. Preliminary from this morning, Quinten took the win and took home $30, of course, pending official results. But Carl Axel Sander is trying to break away here. He's being caught, and Casey Shum is coming back now. Casey's a bit of an underdog here because his heart rate is at 187. He hasn't had to follow any big moves yet. He's had to be there, which of course is enough effort in itself because physical equalization doesn't take out the physical endurance of a rider. It really just makes it so that every race you've got to be up there and exert yourself to a level of which everybody else is doing too. So if Quinten is going his max, you have to go your max as well. And you see Casey Shum standing up. He's going to test the legs of Carl. He's going to test the legs of Quinten. Quinten doesn't go. Quinten is sitting still. Tim is there as well. What does Carl have? The gap is only 1 second, but the speed differential currently is massive. He's 3 kilometers an hour quicker than Carl Axel Sander, Quinten, and Tim Fulford. And Ed Laverick is coming back too, as Peter Castro was mentioning in the chat. Casey is up the road, 190. Carl Axel Sander is sitting on. This is the first person view he's got, as we'll see the front group of Casey. Solo breakaway. Just as I was saying, he hasn't really exerted himself. He takes that energy and he spends it here on the switchbacks of Temple Run Hill. It's the last time they have to do it here in Zone K. Guys in the chat, who do you think wins this race? Is it Casey Shum? Is it Carl Axel Sander? Will it be Quinton Molinese or Tim Fulford? Even Ed Laverick from a potential 5th place? Let us know, because Ed Laverick has come back. This is the Welsh Dragon who got dropped from a crash. He never gave up. He's been in the TT position, flicking left and right, and here he comes. Ed Laverick, the Welsh Dragon, is moving on up. Quinton Molinese too, as well here, is trying to bridge across. Now, what power-ups do you have left is going to be interesting. You got Castrop asking, is KC's shirt matching? It's got the Cycling Hub logo on. I'm not sure how the rules will be enforced all the way through, but I would say from a lenient point of view, I would say that is a matching kit because you've got matching initials. Now, of course, we will relay that to the official, results commissioners, etc. Whole team looks through the results and verifies the correct men. Lanchro says Casey, Castrop says Ed, DK thinks he will win. You've got a lot of people here thinking that Ed Laverick will come back, but it's Casey Shum on the front. Carl Axel Sanders going to have to do something. And look at the intensity. He's moved. He's got an Xbox controller on his handlebars. There he goes. He pops the power up. Weight lifted. 30 kilograms lighter for 10 seconds. Casey goes. And Quinton too. Quinton and Casey have been waiting for this moment. Quinton with Racer's Edge with weight lifted. And Casey Shum on the front as well. He just wants to stay away at this point. Now he goes. Casey Shum has been fighting. He's at 63 kilometers an hour here, 64, but he's nearing his max heart rate. This descent is going to be sketchy. They're going to push each other to the limit. They're going to figure out every single corner speeds. Carl has another one. Could Carl Axel Sander ditch the rest of the cycling arrives because he's already done it? Quinton is 3 seconds back. Ed Laverick is 8 seconds back here. There's no Cycling Hub rider in sight for Carl Axel Sander currently. Here he goes. The gap is 10 seconds. The only power-ups they have left is Quantum Shift. I think this is in the favor of Casey Shum currently. You'll see Casey come through the corner there. Lance Drill Storm says you've got to dig deep here, Casey. Carl Axel Sander is fighting on through as well. Homer and Thomas Tippling are not too far down either in 6th and 7th. They might be able to come back, but it looks like with 1.4 kilometers to go, 3 laps. Oh, Casey's got this. He's got another weight lift, and this is why I believe he is a Cade Pro. As we look on the right hand here off his shoulder, he has won, I think it's like $2,500, or if not more, on the platform while being a Cade Master. So Casey Shum, 10-second gap here with a weight lifted. Now the question is for the secondary positions, because Quinton, Ed, Tim, this race sets up the next few races. Quinton takes off his headphones. He sees Ed Laverick go up the road here. Ed is a danger. Tim comes on through here as well as he passes Quinton. This may be the gasket that has been blown on Quinton Molinese Ford Mustang. I think Quinton is going to find a tough time. That first Omnium in the legs already out the back. But look out for Ed Laverick. If he can stay upright. Now, he might get overexcited. He crashed in this corner coming up on the first lap, and he spent the second and the third lap catching up. We'll see here, Ed Laverick coming on through. He's at 49. He slides on. He slows down to 40. He learns his lesson, but maybe overbrakes a tiny bit. Now, Casey Shum's heart rate has come down on the front. He's at 184. He looks more calm. He's got the fan, blowing in his face. You can see the shirt. I think he knows that now it's about not crashing. It's about coming on through and saving some energy as well. Because Cyfar Arlube is up next. He's got a 7-point advantage over over Carl, and a 27-point advantage over Ed Laverick. Casey points to the Cycling Hub logo. Casey Shum takes the victory here on Temple Run. 2 thumbs up. Carl Axel Sander gave it his best here. He can be proud of that one as he looks down. He's got to make sure he doesn't see Ed Laverick come on through because he's close. The sprint finish as well. Tim Fulford with Quantum Shift, with Racer's Edge, passes Ed Laverick. It will be 4th. And then you've got Quinton Molyneux coming over the line here in 5th. He's got Thomas Tibbling behind him quickly before. I'm not sure if Quinton can hear me. Quinton, how are you feeling? Let the silence speak for itself as he looks to be absolutely blown at this point. Thomas Tippling will be 5th, Homer down in 6th. You got Jeff Rooney fighting for secondary positions. And then it was the all-important crash from Tim Burns, who now sees himself in 5th. He's got 5 minutes to finish this race. But let's have a look at the highlights of the last race. Now, for everyone that had Casey, you were right. Casey Shum did take the victory in the end. A very hard-fought race, as you saw Carl Axel Sander being the marked man. Like, not once, but twice he had to dodge riders trying to push him up against the rocks here, as he had to break down, spend more energy. You can see him not satisfied with his positioning, and these are things you can optimize, that you can do better when you come on through, because as you race this, you can position yourself in a chance for maximum success. And that's exactly what Casey Shum did. He attacked when the time was right. He used his power-ups not to really instigate the attack, but to negate the effect of Carl Axel Sander's reprieve when he activated his. Casey Shum with a masterclass on how to race a tempo run. He sat back, he rested, and when the time was right, he went over the top. You see Casey celebrating it. Casey, when we came to you, you said you didn't have what Quinton had, but in the end, it looks like you had your Weetabix this morning.
Yeah, Carl wasn't going to work there, which I don't blame him. And my team kept getting off the front, so he finally sat up enough that I was tired of sitting and it was time to go. But I mean, I still didn't have a lot there. For a 20-minute power, that still wasn't crazy. My gap at the win was really about power-up usage. I maximized the power-ups. I think my teammates knew how to do that too. Carl didn't quite get the run with the Razor that I did for whatever reason. So it worked out. It was a good race. Wasn't really wanting to do that long, but when it's there, you got to take it.
Talk to me about the power-ups, because it seemed like you, Carl, and Quinton all used it at the exact same time.
Yeah, I knew a few guys used them early. I think Tim used them early. Maybe a few others that were in the front in that first lap used them. And I kind of used Tim's mantra. I used the legs first. So I had everything left on the last lap. I wasn't sure what Carl had left, but when you're solo, it's just about maximizing speed. So using them across the flat and on a big sprint was the best use to maximize pace.
Well, now, Casey, we've got Cypher R loop up. Good luck with this race as you find yourself currently 7 points ahead of Carl Axel Sand. Now, I'm not sure if Carl's got his headphones on. I see them on the wall. We'll see if Carl can hear me. Carl, can you hear me? Oh, he puts on the headphones. Hey, Carl, good timing. That last race, you were up against 3 riders from Cycling Hub. I know it's an individual race, but talk me through that race from your point of view.
Oh, yeah, I was a bit nervous before the last lap because it felt very hopeless. But I guess my strategy there was just to try to ride hard, make small attacks all the time, so they couldn't benefit so much by blocking me and trying to attack themselves. So I guess that turned out pretty well. Yeah.
Now, you are only 8 points down on Casey here. Cypher R loop, do you reckon you can take Casey, Tim, Quinton, who are currently 1 above and 2 below you on this track?
Oh, yeah. This one is interesting with the power ups combination. So I'm probably gonna play it a bit risky. Try to go fast somewhere with all the combination, but it either might go pretty well or it might go very bad, I think.
That pretty much sums up CVRcade racing in general here, Copper. I like it. Now, I want to get a final word before we go racing with a person who seemed to just blow up come the end of it. Quinton, your legs. I mean, they must have been screaming at you at the end because it just looked like you blew.
That's exactly what happened. It wasn't necessarily the legs as much as it was the lungs. I was just gasping for air for like a solid 5 minutes, and I didn't have much remorse to just get a little bit of air back into the system. So I was constantly on the limit, and I mean, it can only go so far. And with the racing I did this morning, I think I paid the price for that.
Now, you could salvage it here, because there's money all the way down to 5th. Are you in attack mode or defend mode?
I think we're podium mode with Cycling Hub, so we'll see what happens.
I like it. Quentin, good luck here. There's several other riders, of course, streaming in. I see that Tam Burns, ready to go again, crashed in the second race, so he felt the absolute highs of Kayla's mountain track and then the absolute lows of Temple Run. Jeff Rooney was smiling. He was in earlier as well. I see Beth York is using this race to warm up. I see Timothy Tamont is using this race to warm up. So the riders are getting ready because Zone L begins after this. We've got another hour of racing worth I was about to say $1,000. No, there is $3,000 in the grand finale. There's $30 here in this race. So I'm looking here. Camp Burns is looking down. I'm not sure if he's clipped in, if he's ready, if he's found the pedals as the racing begins right in front of him. So Tam at the back. Jennifer Garcia coming into this race, finding herself down in 13th place. Doesn't look like she finished Temple Run. So question is, what is her goals in this race? Because not finishing the last race gives you 0 points on the overall scoreboard. So she may be looking to get it's just a stage win here on Sci-Far R Loop, and she's currently out in the front. There's a massive win. You can see it down in the middle, right next to the mini-map. There's a 7 kilometers an hour wind, and currently it's about to change into a headwind, I believe. As they come around this, we should see the speeds start to come down, I think, as the wind turns into a headwind. That's why Ryan Goldenberg in here, using his path of least resistance, using wind at his back. And Ryan Goldenberg racing this, he's been quiet, but he's now in 3rd place. If we bring down the scoreboard with his inertia, he is now in 3rd place, taking home what would be 15 United States dollars if it finished right now. Rick Woods is right behind him. He's been riding a bit under the radar. Homer Thompson, who isn't streaming in today, he's in 8th. Anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. The racing is still very much on as Tam Burns again goes down. Let's hear. Tam, last time it was lane change. What was it this time? Tam. Do we... World space to Tam. What happened?
I thought it was clear, so I moved in, and obviously it wasn't clear. So, I think it's race easy now.
Always check your side mirrors, Tam Burns, but I'm sure you're learning the hard way. I can see the color of your face. I'm not sure if that doesn't look like Iron Brew. That looks like more like a raspberry Coke or something, or a cherry Coke. As Quinton Mullen is trying to cut across here to Ryan Goldenberg. So Ryan has attacked. And Ryan has been consistent, and this is his mantra. This is what Ryan does. Ryan lurks in the shadows. He comes out when he needs to, and he's no bad rider on Country Rally, which is our 4th and last race here. And Quentin coming into the Garcia corner. Rick goes down. Homer goes down before the corner, but Ryan Goldenberg is on the attack. Jeff Rooney currently 6th place on the scoreboard here, as he's got 89.3 points. He's 30 points down on Casey Shum, and Casey currently in 4th here. This is a tough race. You've got riders who took it a bit easier on Temple Run. Oh, Quinton slides through. Ryan slides through, but Quinton has come back, and Ryan has already used 1 salvo of power-ups, 1 rotation of power-ups with wind at your back, with inertia, with corner K, with path of least resistance. You only get 1. And so Ryan has really put everything in here. Sorry, Ryan is still 7 seconds up the road. So we've got Quinton and Jeff together, and Carl Axel Sander coming back. You can see Casey I think Casey might be trying to load up a power-up here. You can see his fingers are on the arrow keys. He wants to make sure that if he gets back, he doesn't slam into the back of one of these riders and loses his momentum. Now Quinten following Jeff. This is a heavily contested race. I think Jennifer has just gone down by using a path of least resistance. We're seeing Tim Fulford load up a power-up. Wind at his back here. So he wants to get away from that 7 kilometers an hour wind. And using his inertia at 48. This is very, very interesting. If you pull down the scoreboard, this is way up in the air, and it's going to come down to Country Rally at this point. Casey 126.5, Carl 116.5, Tim 113.5, Ryan 101, Quinten 103, and Ryan gets the block on Tim, and you can see his reaction. Bring up the scoreboard on that one, because ladies and gentlemen, it's not the scoreboard, the replay, as Ryan gets the block. We look at the numbers and Tim tries to get away and Ryan just swings his whole body across, and in the area effect of Ryan's maple syrup fold up body, he just lays his pancake across the road and he says, "This is my crap now, this is my territory." And now Tim goes on to the attack again. So Tim now in second place here on the scoreboard, 7 points down on Casey. Carl's coming up, Quinten's coming up. This is back and forth racing. Like, mixer chat, who are you cheering for? I see a lot of the community in here. I see a lot of the viewers such as DK Mansuni, Glenn, Lanceril. It's wide open. Casey, Tim, Carl, Quinten, Jeff, Ed, Tam, Ryan, Tom. Everyone can win. I was going to name everyone that could win, and then I got down to like 10th place and I realized at this point, anyone still can. Last lap approaching soon. Quinten and Tim, they stand up. They attack the they attack the hill here as they get all the way up. This is a sneaky 2% gradient as you look over the rear view mirror of Quinten. He's in defend this one, as you can see. Castrop says Tim will get this one. Tim laughs when he gets blocked. That is a true observation. Carl with a corner caper. Casey with a corner caper. Carl has taken the lead, and he almost gets the block on Casey. He doesn't quite get there. You see Carl Axel Sander, Casey Shum. 1 point is the difference. Of course, pending official results, because he doesn't have a heart rate strap activated here. But that's a power-up salvo gone. Path of least resistance from Carl Axel Sander. It reduces the friction between his rider and the road here. As Casey Shum is 3 seconds down. Jeff Rooney is at 205, 206 equalized heart rate. Jeff, 206 equalized heart rate. What does that feel like?
I'm gonna blow up.
Come on.
Slow down, way.
Well, we'll ask them politely if they'll slow down. I don't think Carl has his headphones on, but 206, you can hear Jeff's bike underneath him just scream at him and go, doink, doink, doink. And now Carl has got inertia. Casey and Quinten are loading up their power-ups. Quinten, path of least resistance, wind at his back, inertia at 54. He's got a 7-second gap up there. And Quinten desperately needs to win this race if he wants to knock off the Casey Shum from the top spot here. And here we go. We've got the chat. Sorry, Mod. Casey has gone down. Casey all the way down to 0 here. Not sure what just happened there. I missed him for a second as I read the chat. Casey Shum all the way down. And that is good for Quinten. Here comes Jeff. The man, the myth, the legend. If you can speak at 206 equalized heart rate, he's still dancing like this is a salsa class. He's still moving around the spin class. This is where Beth York and her Rise and Rip goes, "Come on, everybody, let's put it up a gear. Listen to the rhythm, listen to the music." And then you've just got the trance coming in. We've got a great race coming up here at the front. Carl Axel Sander, Quinten Molyneux. 4 seconds is the difference. We're in the last kilometer. 900 meters to go here. 4 seconds. Carl is now leading 10 points above Casey and 20 points above Quinten. But the heart rate strap is the name of the game. Everybody is wondering, what is happening for Carl? We've seen the heart rate monitor. We've heard it been asked by so many people. And now Carl still doesn't have it in the game. Quintin Molinez is jumping on through here. He's 5 seconds down, 4 seconds down. But when you look at his shoulders, when you look at the way he holds his head down, it's like he doesn't believe it himself. The gap is 3 seconds. He's got a chance. And he really needs every single point because Casey Shum on a country rally race has been good. Quintin has his corner caper. Here we go for the sprint. 300 meters. He's going to have to give it everything. Does he believe it? Quintin stands up. He tries. But with one corner left, I think Carl Axel Sander just has to ride this one to the line. Quintin hits 200, and it will be the Swede, the velocity rider, Carl Axel Sander. Just in frame there, we can see a celebration. Quintin, valid effort on the end, crosses the line in second. Jeff Rooney, the Salsa King, comes on through next. Can talk to us at 2:06. That deserves some respect in the chat. Tim Fulford, who got blocked by Ryan Goldenberg, comes over fourth. Casey Shum in fifth comes over the line next here, and he's going to need to really put out a great result here. And then all the way down in 17th, we've got Tam Burns as he thought the coast was clear. But as so often when you think, you've got to double check. Just like on the road, you go left, right, left, and you look over the shoulder. Now, it's going to get fun here. Let's get the highlights of the race again. Now, I do have a gift here because not so long ago, we had a bit of a care package sent here to the streaming studio. And I have been sent some candy to try out. And the first bit of candy we're going to try out on the stream is a Mexican lollipop. Now, I've been warned it's extremely hot and I should bring water. So I didn't bring water. So all for the sake... Oh, we do have water. Never mind. Executive producer Victor Lundqvist always taking care of the situation. But we do have that. So we'll go to Carl. We'll hear a few things. And then hopefully at some point in the stream today, you'll see a Mexican lollipop being tasted for the first time. But Carl Axel Sander, Casey Shum, Jeff Rooney, Quintin, Tim, Ryan. CVR Loop really never disappoints. Great racing here, Carl Axel Sander. Now, Carl, as we're watching the highlights here, this was a race that was back and forth, Carl. Talk me through the key points because it didn't look like you were going to win that race at first, but then you slowly came back.
Yeah, I was just trying to stick with the peloton the first two laps, and then I planned my power-up combination drop there. So I did go really fast in the last corner, do the path for last resistance, then wind at your back in the headwind, and then throw in Hershey. So it was a good timed attack there, and I got a couple of seconds up that I was able to keep. So yeah, it was just as I planned, and I didn't screw up. I'm a bit clumsy. I'm getting bad at clumsy. I have good ideas, but sometimes I mess up.
I think everyone wants to know, what's more difficult, winning CVR or Loop or connecting a heart rate monitor?
Oh, connecting a heart rate monitor, for sure. We're still working on it. The data is being recorded into the game, but it's not showing up in the interface, so I'm sorry for that.
No worries, Carl. I'm sure we'll get it sorted out eventually. But Casey, Quintin behind you, who do you reckon of those two is not a threat to you? There's even Tim down in fourth as well at this point. Oh, I think we may have lost Carl there for a second. That's yes, Carl.
Sorry, I thought you had moved on. Again, please.
Oh, I can move on. It's fine, Carl. If you don't want to talk to the leader of the race here, that's totally fine. No, Carl, you got Casey, Quintin, and Tim. Out of the three, who do you not see as a threat?
Oh, comparing all of them?
Yes.
I'm scared of them all. They're very good, all of them, and they got these good ideas and moves. So I'm always watching my back.
Very, very political answer there, Carl. Let's go to Casey, who's currently leading, because if it is as it stands, his heart rate doesn't respond the game, Casey is technically the leader on the road. Casey, Country Rally is all that stands between you and a potential $30, but it's two of your good friends behind you. How do you attack this race?
Just ride the course and stay out of trouble. good answer by Carl too, because you don't want to poke one of the three bears, right? So good answer, Carl. And the heart rate thing's tough because I feel bad for Carl having a technical issue, but it's also hard to race against him when we can't see his equalized heart rate to see if he's relatively harder now than earlier and all that. So it's kind of a game bug, I guess, but it makes it hard for us to race him too. So from our point of view, it's a challenge, almost gives him a little bit of an advantage. But we're having a lot of fun here. This is going to hurt.
Definitely. You've got 4 laps of this coming up. Let's quickly go to Quinton, because Quinton did say he was in defend the podium mode. Quinton, I didn't know Sebastian Kuhn was in here today.
Well, I mean, I am Belgium after all, so the countries are really just neighboring. So I think the main thing that we're trying to do is getting Carl the win so we can go and buy a better heart rate model with the 30
it's so
bucks.
nice of you guys. Changing the image of Cycling Hub one race at a time. Gracious bunch. Now, this is going to be a close one because you and Tim are separated by 1.5 points here. And this is a race you both have been known to winning. What's the secret going to be to beating Tim?
I just got to lick the stamp and send it. And then after I did that, I have to run to the toilet probably and make sure I send it on there as well.
Too much information.
It's very scary.
Oh my goodness. Now, 50 seconds to go here, Quinton. Like, you can leak the stab as much as you want, but we'll see the aftermath at the end of the day, whether or not it's worth the money. Quinton Molinez, everybody. There was also Casey. It was Carl Axel Sander. We got 35 seconds to go, and the racing will be underway. Tim Fulford, we didn't quite get to there at the end. He is 4th currently on the scoreboard. 1.5 points down on Quinton, who's in 3rd. Casey is in 2nd at 126.5, and Carl currently leading at 136 point. Mixer chat, Zone K, somebody is winning $30 here. Who do you reckon wins $30 here in Zone K? And then we go again. For those that want to go again, Zone L, somebody again is winning $30. So if you're doing the back-to-back, you could technically, well, not technically, you could win $60. So all the more reason to get on the platform and ride. Ed Laverick seems like he's missing here. Phil Lovett is at the back, but off to a strong start here. It is Quinton Molinez. We've got 4 laps off Country Rally. 1 uncrashable, 1 power plant. That's all you get in this race. We've got 7 minutes until the next zone begins, so you better finish quick here as Jeff Rooney gets off to an early start. And Jeff has the potential. Rick goes down. Jeff Rooney has the potential here to come up with a great result. Now, this is Tam Burns' first time really on Country Rally. We saw him do well on Kayla's mountain track. He dodges the hay bale like a Cade master. He shows his true colors as he's trying to overwork. He's trying to overhaul on the left-hand side here. The Scottish warrior, the fighter, a man who wears his heart on his sleeve, winning the first race, coming on through, trying to move into the top 5. He's got to be careful here though, because if he doesn't move right, and he does, this is a person who's had a few first times on the platform and now making moves. And there's so many storylines in this race because Timothy Tamund is in here as well. He's warming up. You've got Casey and Quinton directly head-to-head here. And for Casey to win, I think he just needs to be 2nd or 3rd in this race, and he secures his overall victory. You got Tam Braveheart. I love that analogy. You've got Timothy Tamund of Team Hive rocking the Pink Panthers. There's everybody here in the front group. Bev's Racing, if you go to the back of the group, Tim Fulford is making up the troop at the back. He's being forced to move left and right here. Carl Axel Sander is in 6th place. He is moving up. It looks like Tim may be distancing here, and it could be his podium that goes out the win here, as the difference between 3rd and 5th is $10. And over time, I mean, that adds up. Any banker will tell you the interest on this can just be as valuable as the individual win here. Jeff still on the front here as we pass Barney the Barn Door. Casey is going for the overtake on the inside here in the McLaren versus the Ferrari on the right. Oh, Tab goes down! He hits the hay bale. So far, so good. He goes down 201 here. He hits the hay bale and crashes. So Tim Burns has gone down from the front of the group. Now, we've got 3 kilometers left. I'm afraid that we may not actually go to the next race in time, so we might have to send our secondary camera guy to the next race just to make sure that we can show you Kayla's mountain track of the next race. But this might mean that if you're in this race and you really want to do Zone L, I think if you don't finish in the next 4.5 minutes, so 2.5 kilometers to finish in 4 minutes and 20 seconds, you may have to leave early. Keep that in mind. If you're using this as a warm-up race for Zone L, you may have to leave before the race does finish. Here we go though. Quinten has taken the lead on the front. Now Quinten is leading, but Casey is still comfortable. In between them, they have Carl, Axel, Sander. Thomas Tibbling has been passed of Team CCC. And then Timothy goes down, but I think he's getting ready for the next zone. Jeff Rooney was in the lead for quite a while. Now we're 2 laps down, 2 laps remaining. As Jeff Rooney's feeling the effort, he's moved up into 5th place. And potentially could take $5 here, or could take 10. But now Carl Axel Sander is back. This is going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be quite the storyline. If Carl Axel Sander can win this Omnium at the end of the day, of course, pending official inquiry by the team officials of CVRcade Solo Cup, but Casey's leading. Now Casey overhauls Quinten. That changes the dynamic. It puts Casey in the win. So I think what Quinten and Casey here, despite it being the Solo Cup, they may be looking at each other going, let's just make sure that the money stays in the family, stays within the team here. As you see, Casey has come on through. Carl seems to be moving a bit right and left. He's got his teammate Jeff Rooney behind him. And then Tim Fulford seems to be fading in 5th. Is this the beginning of the end for Tim Fulford? Well, I know Tim raced earlier today. He got 2nd. But here at the end, let's go to Tim. What's happening, Tim?
Yeah, it's not the beginning of the end, but Carl's not going to get a very good result out of this because he still doesn't have a heart rate. I'm just marking Jeff, really. And yeah, this is my 3rd session of the day. So yeah, this is the end of me today. Absolute wet noodle. My legs really hurt, but it's been great racing. Pushed me harder than I would have done if I'd just done a normal session. So gotta love it. No one crashed on that first lap. Like, people are learning.
No one crashed on the first lap, but Carl just crashed in this one. Sorry, Tim, we're coming up to the finish here of Country Rally. It is head-to-head on the front between Quinten and Casey. Jeff is here too. So 3-up race for the top. Jeff uses Uncrashable. Casey uses Uncrashable. But how effective was that? As Jeff goes through Barney the Barn Door, you couldn't do that without Uncrashable. But Quinten kept his, and then Jeff goes down! Jeff, the Uncrashable ran out, and he knows it too. He thought he did so well, but now it's down to Quinten and Casey on the front here. Quinten has got 3rd place, potential 2nd place. Tim 3rd, Jeff. It looks like Ed Laverick here. Of course, also pending bonus points. You get bonus points for streaming in with audio. You get bonus points for racing with your matching kit here. So we'll see now. It's Quinten versus Casey. Now Quinten, 400 meters remaining. I think he's got the Uncrashable left, but it looks like he's just going to ride this one to the end and let Casey come on through as Ed Laverick crashes. This opens the door for Homer Thompson, who's in 6th. And if Homer comes across Tim, he would move up into that 6th place. But looking at this, I think Quinten and Casey, I think Quinten will let Casey cross the line here because Quinten does have the Uncrashable, and you can see the thumbs up. Casey Shum is going to win Zone K preliminary. Pending bonus points, pending official verification, of course. Quinten crosses next. Jeff, what could have been if he didn't crash down. Carl Axel Sander in 4th here as well. Great Omnium from him. Tim versus Homer here in a sprint to the line. And Tim with the Uncrashable almost gets caught by Homer as they come across. You got Tam Burns further down. Jennifer Garcia in this race. Now, the next zone, guys, starts in 30 seconds. If you are racing Zone L, you've got 20 seconds to join the next race. Get over as quick as you can. We do have a machine in there, so we'll bring it to you. But while that race gets set up, let's quickly hear from Casey Shum, because winner of the Omnium, he went through some stipulations here. Casey, give us a second to load up the replays. Casey, next zone is coming up, so we've got to be quick. $30. I think you won, pending official results. What does $30 bring you?
We might pull it together and get a heart rate monitor. No, I don't know. I mean, it was a good race there. Quentin and I both kind of sat up at the end when we knew we had it. Quentin won this morning. It was good racing. I think I won whether Carl's DQ or not. So I tried to get into the next one just to cool down, and I couldn't get there. So hopefully everybody who wanted to did. But that was fun. Thanks to my teammates. We cooperated while competing and didn't have any gimmies there. It was a good result for the team.
You cooperated while competing. Talk me through that one.
I mean, we pushed one another, especially in that second race. I mean, it was kind of cycling hub attack and counter attack, but I mean, when your teammate's attacking, it still hurts. And then to help your teammate, you kind of sit on Carl and make Carl cover the move, but then you got to cover Carl's move. So it's a lot easier to just ride smooth. So even though you're not hurting one another, that style of riding hurts really bad. So, and my teammates are capable of breaking each other. I mean, we're all capable of hurting one another on different points in the track. So the key is don't sabotage one another, is really all you can do.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this zone progress on Tuesdays, Casey, because it was back and forth. It was a nail-biter. I know everybody's getting set up for the next one. Casey, congratulations again, of course. Be on the lookout on the social media pages. You'll see Quinton currently on the screen racing the next Omnium. The riders nearby list hasn't been updated yet, but we'll update that once we get to the next event. We can show you here the official, the preliminary results of Zone K. So take your screenshot. This is the results of Zone K, as Zone L is currently going on. Casey, Carl, Quinton, Tim. But in the other race, here we go. The finale is coming up. 600 meters to go. We've got Quinton Molyneux, Ryan Goldenberg, Vibeke Bertram, Beth York, Timothy Tamont, Jonathan Herone, and Sebastian Kuhn making it in. We've got an attack from Ryan Goldenberg. Vibeke Bertram here with a comeback kit, using it to come to the front here. As you will see, the sprint finish between Ryan and Vibeke Bertram. Who is it going to be? Quinton near the back here. He doesn't seem to have the power to come on through. Timothy Tamont now on the edge of his seat, is trying to come over the top, and he does. But Beth has a comeback kid. This is going to be to the wire. And Timothy Tamont with the first win here of Zone L. So that is the next zone you are seeing. Zone L, that is. First race has just concluded, as you saw that. Now we get a chance to actually talk to the riders, because there's so much back and forth. We'll get the official results. Timothy won the first race. Vibeke, Beth, Quentin, Jonathan, then Ryan. We've got the replay up on the screen here. As you'll see, it's Ryan and Vibeke with the strategy to go early. Then they got the comeback kid in. Jonathan is there. Timothy just rides through the group, comes to the front. I think at this point he kind of knows he's got this one secured. Now, it is unfortunate that not everybody could join the first race, because this will severely hamper their chances at an overall victory here if you didn't make it in the first one, losing out of a minimum of 17 points. But Timothy, first race down, first race victory in the bag. That looked pretty easy for you.
Oh no, I'm not warmed up yet. Hopefully I can warm up in this next few laps of tempo run, but that was thanks to the strategy of Velocity Vixen there that I won, and a little bit of luck that my comma kit didn't get cancelled by somebody from behind me. But yeah, other than that, made full use of their tactics, so really happy with that, and I'm super excited for this solo cup to start, and this week the rest of the cups as well.
Do you not like your team? Is that why you're excited for the Solo Cup to start?
I said the other cups as well. Yes. Of course I love my team.
Ah, man,
What
if
a
I'm on
question.
Team Hive right now, I'd be wondering what my team leader is thinking. He clearly said excited for the Solo Cup to start, so I don't know. Maybe there's a new cycling hub in town. Timothy, congratulations on winning the first one. We're setting up.
Thank you.
Looking at the riders list, I know we might have Vibeke in the broadcast as well here. If we do, no, we do not. We have Beth York though, who came over the line in third. Beth, that last race, I saw you in Country Rally. It looked like a bit of a, last minute ditch just to get into this race.
To just get my legs warmed up. And then I saw the clock and I was like, oh, I gotta change. So a little bit of a panic. I think the heart rate will show me he's like panicking, think I'm gonna get in. I had plenty of time, plenty of time. But yeah, so just excited to be a part of the World Cup broadcast Solo Cup. Gotta get that language right this morning, and happy to be racing now.
Now, are you like Timothy? Are you more excited for the CVRcade Solo Cup than the team event on Saturday?
I'm excited for all of it because the team racing, we had that head-to-head with Timothy's team, the Hive, and I think it was just a hint of the sort of team tactics that we're going to see. Unlike we saw a lot with the solo racing happen over the months, and I think we're going to see a greater evolution in how that's played out. The Derny, I have no idea. I'm looking forward to it, but I have no idea how that's going to turn out. But it's going to be pretty exciting, so I'm excited to try something new.
Now, ask this question in Zone K as well. If you look towards the scoreboard, look towards the riders nearby list, who are you most afraid of and who are you least afraid of from the riders to your left?
Okay, so Sebastian the Shark, he's always a threat. Timothy has really been working on his endurance. It's been really fun to watch him sort of, I think of him as a tactician on the really technical courses. Sorry, my team's chatting. Like Quentin raced earlier, so hopefully he's a little tired. That's what I'm hoping on. But Jonathan has been out for a while, so it's a pretty stacked field. So I'm just glad that I have a few teammates in here, and I hope I can help them out.
Now, as everybody gets ready, I did promise we had some spicy Mexican lollipops. So this was a care package sent from the US. This is green, so I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it. But it's a hard candy lolly mango pop. And this was sent to us to try on stream. Now, I know the chat wants to know how to get a velocity kit. For that, I think you just talk to Beth York or Ryan Goldenberg. That's how I got mine, at least. So now, let's see. So I was told to have water nearby. I'm not sure. So we got a minute and a half. We'll add it. We'll have some fun here. This could be either amazing or it could be bad here as we get ready for the racing. So we'll see what happens as there's been a slight mishap here on the left. I'm not sure what is happening here. I see. No, well, something just happened on the VMix screen. I think we can work around it. But Mexican lollipop. Here we go. This is not too spicy. Oh. That's horrible. Like, the Mexican people not like normal candy? Like, Kayla says she loves them. Jennifer says, oh my. Either way, eating a lollipop on stream is probably not the smartest thing to do when the civil blogger is lurking around any corner. So, we'll see. Oh, I don't know. That's not very spicy. It might come back and kick me later, but let me know your experience. Let's see, Timothy, how would you rate the lollipop? I don't know. I would say tasting ability. Oh, I think you muted yourself, Timothy.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'm not really into spicy food myself, so I prefer you do it than me, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Kayla says in the chat she loves those. I think Kayla might need some checking on it because that's just That had no taste except for a bit of spice. That was like
I mean, it's a spicy lollipop. I mean,
that was like a
there's one tasty
jalapeno
one in it.
lollipop. But anyway, shenanigans aside, we'll be trying spicy food. We'll be trying all sort of, you know, Americanized candy and Mexican candy. If you want any other type of candy tested on stream, we will do it. I can actually still feel the bit of spice, so I'll take back what I said. I can now feel it. And as a commentator, it may not have been the wisest decision here as Casey Shum crashes early on. So if he's attempting to do the back-to-back, it doesn't look like it. He's sitting back down. But maybe as a commentator, it wasn't the smartest option to go with the spiciest option as the first choice here as the racing gets underway. So again, Sonel, winner of the Omnium, takes $30. Second place takes $20. Third place takes 15, then you have 10, then you have $5. That's whoever accumulates the most amount of points across all 4 events in the Omnium come the end of the racing. I see Homer Thompson is in here in the racing. We're just setting up a few things to get the riders in here. You got Casey Badger joining us in the chat. Badger did race earlier today. He was in the racing for Zone E. Came across the line in 5th, I do believe, taking home $5 American. Homer is in here as well. Now, Homer, I believe, was supposed to be in here and streaming. Doesn't look like he is. Vibeke was supposed to be in here and streaming. Doesn't look like she is. But we do have the Shark, as Beth York called him. Sebastian Kuhn, he's in here. I don't think Casey Shum is going for the double. I think he's just warming down his legs. Doing the double, especially when it's this type of Omnium where you've got Temple Run in the second race, it really takes something out of you. You got Beth York, who's at an early 200 equalized heart rate here. So we'll see what she looks like. Beth, what's the situation here? 200 equalized heart rate?
Oh, you interviewing me?
Oh, I'm not interviewing. I'm just asking a question.
Getting over a flu, travel, life. It makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you? So, yeah, talking really helps.
Sorry, Beth. I just saw the 200. Okay. We'll let you
no worries, we're good.
We'll let you get back to it. Now, we did just have a word at Carl Axel Sander earlier. Timothy Tamont here, second place up the road. Timothy, you've got to activate your heart rate strap.
Yeah, it's not working for some reason.
Did you charge it?
I put new batteries in it, so I don't know. I'll check after this.
What you got to do is you got to slap it hard. Like, is it a chest strap? Is it a hand strap?
Yeah, it's a chest.
Just keep slapping it. I'll turn it on.
Yeah. Cheers.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't get it on here, you don't qualify for them. Just professional courtesy here. Timothy Tamont, noticing his heart rate is not turned on, gets the solution to the problem, chooses to continue racing instead. Timothy Tamont, king of the bottom left-hand corner, is in here. I like how Badger's like, I want $5 today. Yes, so first place in the Omnium. This goes for Zone E, for Zone K, for Zone L, for Zone T. Will take home $30 US. And while I'm saying this, Homer Thompson is in here obliterating the field. Come in here, Homer. I guess this is what happens when Homer says, what happens if I don't do every single Omnium possible in a week? What happens if I specialize in just one Omnium? This is what you get. Homer Thompson off to an early start here. He's wearing the number 2 on the back, but currently he's number 1 on the road. He was supposed to stream in, and Homer will be missing out on valuable bonus points for streaming. So he was in touch. You can see he's a Kate Master on his shoulder, but he's not streaming in, and he'll lose out on very, very valuable 10 bonus points. So we'll see what's going to happen as we come to the top. We pass under Tamont's tiers here, the Waterfall and Temple Run top. We've got the side-by-side lined up in a second, because in second and third place here, we've got Timothy Tamont, and we've got Sebastian Kuhn ready to race. I like how Moti picked up on exactly what I was trying to do, but Moti, some riders they see through it, but some riders do not. Timothy is on the phone here as well. He might be calling downstairs right now to his parents to try and get them to bring batteries up so he can replace the battery on the stream. Once he puts the phone down, Timothy, Who did you just call?
My little sister for my spare heart rate monitor. Exactly like you called.
Where is it saved? Where is the spare heart rate monitor saved?
It's just over there, but I can't reach mid-race.
If you sprint really quick, you can jump off and go get it.
No, you're not going to kill me today, Jesper. I got help. I got this.
Anyone in the chat? Anyone in the chat can reach out and help Timothy. Timothy, you got two very opposing sides here. Timothy, let's mute Timothy's audio as his sister walks into his room. Then you got Sebastian, just stone cold. He's like, I came prepared. I had my heart rate strap. I had everything I needed. But there is the potential here for a double. Quentin Molyneux is in here. Just just under the radar. He raced E this morning. He raced K just the zone before this. And he finished so quickly that he could jump back in to a race here. I hear that Vibeke is going to get on into the stream. So we'll have the Danish beast as Timothy. I can just see, we won't show it. He's changing his heart rate strap right now off screen. We'll spare you the sights. But Timothy Tamand here is getting ready. Now, can he connect it in real time is the question. Timothy Tamant is going to get ready. But Homer Thompson, 3 seconds up the road here, did miss out on the first race. But what's so impressive is that despite missing out on the first race, so Homer didn't make it into Kayla's mountain bike, he's still in fourth, and he is 10 points behind Quentin. That's what a win on Tempo Run can do for you. So I did say it is devastating not to have those initial points on the first event. But if you win this, that is 75 points. That is incredible to come on through. Now, Timothy Tamont still doesn't have the heart rate strap. He's down in fifth. Timothy, you've changed the heart rate strap. Now, can you connect it? Oh, I think he's trying to... Now, Timothy...
It should be connected. I'm smashing my chest.
If you replace your heart rate strap, you have to connect it in the game because it's a different heart rate strap. Slapping it... Slapping the heart rate strap when it's not connected doesn't help it. So now you just slapped yourself for no reason.
It did work.
Oh, actually, it did work, guys. I take it back. Timothy Tamont, everybody in the chat. Oh, slapping yourself 2020. That's how you turn on your heart rate strap. Carl, next time you race, you try slapping yourself and see if that is what makes it work here. Coming to the front of the racing, Sebastian Kuhn making his way up. He's got a teammate up ahead of him in third. He's got another teammate in the lead. And so we've just, we've swapped... You know, the script, we've turned it upside down. In Zone K, it was team cycling up with 3 riders. And then it was just 1 rider from Team Velocity. This time it's 3 riders from Cognition and 1 sole Team Cycling Hub member. Quentin Molyneux, though, if there's a rider that can do it, it's him. And right now, you know that Tim Fulford, Casey Shum, Niels Heldens, the rest of them, they're looking on, they're cheering him on, they're giving him... I know, words of encouragement here as we're going to see. Louise coming in with the hashtags in the chat. The chat is loving it. Good to have such a lively chat, everybody. Thank you so much for making this just so fun, so enjoyable. But we've got Jonathan Heron here. We've got Homer Thompson, neither on the broadcast. And I want to stretch this because in Season 1... bonus points were everything. You got 4 bonus points. This was Season 1. I'll tell you Season 2 in a second. Season 1, you got 4 bonus points for every event you finished. For streaming in, for having audio, and for having a matching kit. Now, it varied a tiny bit, just the exact amount of number. But you could get like 100 bonus points if you had absolutely everything. Now, this time in Season 2, it is streaming in with audio is 10 points for the entire Omnium. And racing with a matching kit is 10 points for the entire Omnium. So 20 points is possible to get in bonus points. And that gets added to your total score. So as you can see to the left of Quentin, his total score currently is 86 points. He then gets 20 points on top. And so he's currently at 106 if that's the case. And so that's why you want to be streaming in. Because that's the only way to get those extra 20 bonus points as Sebastian comes over the top here. Quentin, though, you've got to be careful if you're Quentin, because we've already seen him blow up massively on Temple Run once today. He came back, but Sebastian Kuhn is the master of making you hurt. We're going to see what happens here now as we're coming on through. Quentin and the Team Cycling Hub kid further down. Beth Yorick crashes. Beth Yorick from a good performance in the first race. Beth, what happened?
Oh, I saw Benjamin wipe out earlier, and I'm like, I will hop on his wheel and have him pull me up the hill, and overlapped his wheel in the lane change. So got a little... You gotta hop when someone's passing you and to get into that draft, but it takes skill to time it right, or you do what I did and you crash down.
Somewhere
it would have been nice to have his wheel. He's already 9 seconds ahead of me because of the crash.
Somewhere Tam Burns is sitting and saying, I did exactly that too. If a seasoned veteran like Beth does that, I can make the same mistake.
I've got more. Here's more. Ready? There we go. No way, Marie. Don't do it.
You even got Elizabeth. Moving back up to the front here of the racing, Homer Thompson is just gone. Like 15, 17 seconds. If you're currently racing the physical replay, this is where you've really got to fight on through, because Homer Thompson is just continuing over the top here as he's getting away. He's got 20 seconds on Quentin and Sebastian. And this is working in his favor. But knowing Homer, he might, like, Homer is a very strong rider when it comes to pure power, when it comes to prolonged efforts, when it comes to, well, saying pure power is incorrect, because it's physically equalized. Everybody has got equalized wattage. But what I mean is that when it's time to get down, put your head down as Jonathan slides in. When it comes down to just suffering and getting into the hurt locker and just, you know, putting the nail on the, taking the hammer to the nail on everybody else, that is something that Homer specializes in. When we are on Summit Islands, which is his favorite track, nobody can go up to the hill like he does. When he goes in a breakaway on Roman Arena, on Temple Run like we're seeing here, very few riders can follow him once he gets a gap. So 182. It looks comfortable. On the right, you can see the distance remaining, 6.3 kilometers. So we're just over halfway done. As another butt goes down, another butt goes down as well, as Vibeke is sitting around it. So if we cut here to Quentin, or sorry, to Sebastian, you will see the total scoreboard come down. You'll see a bigger version of it. So Homer not making the first race does put him down at least about 16 points potentially from finishing the last race. So he's still in third with 75 points, which is impressive. Then you got Timothy at 77.5. Now Timothy probably spent quite a long time messing with the heart rate, etc., trying to get that on. Homer in third, Sebastian in fourth, Jonathan and Quentin. I'm not sure if Sebastian can hear me, but it might be interesting. Sebastian, you're sitting in here with Quentin. I think the big question is, are you dead yet?
Totally dead.
Totally dead. This is interesting when you can hear the riders breathing, their rhythm. I like the new microphone, by the way, Sebastian. Massive kudos. I mean, that sounds really good here. Sebastian, I'll let you focus on it, but if you're Quentin right now, we can't go to Quentin because Quentin doesn't have his headset connected when riding. I think he'd rather hear the music or something else in here, but Jonathan Harone coming back here in this group as well. So about to enter the last lap. You got Enrico Schenk saying last lap coming up. Let's go, Sebastian. And good news, we have made contact. There is water on Mars. Vibeke Bertram. Let's hear Vibeke. It's good to have you in the stream.
Sorry, Beth.
Oh, never
Come again, Jasper?
Oh, I was just saying it's good to have you in the stream, Vibeke.
Yeah, thanks. I had some computer issues. This time with the laptop I use for streaming, so... But I managed.
Well, you got to get those bonus points if you want to make the points in the overall. But it's good you're on here now, Vibeke. Now you just got to put, you know, the medal to the floor here and get as many points. Currently in sixth, Vibeke, I'll let you make sure because you've got to finish the race as well. When you're down, sometimes people think they can rest up, they can sit back, and they can catch their breath. And they can, but there is a time limit. You've got to make it to the end of the race before the time runs out. CVR World Cup is happy Vibeke is here. DK Mansuni is cheering for Vibeke as well. Now, Timothy, you've got 3 seconds up to Quinten, to Jonathan. How are the legs feeling? You got the heart rate strap connected. Are we going to see an attack here on the last lap? Oh, I think he's got his microphone muted.
Every single time, man. Every single time. Maybe next time when you come to me, say, Timothy, unmute your mic, and then ask a question. Nah, I can't catch up. I was close, but... Oh wait, Sebastian crashed. Ah, that might be good. Sorry.
I don't think Sebastian thinks that.
Yeah, of course not, but for me it is. Nah, I was so close, but I was going full for like 2 laps. So, yeah, nah, the heart rate did it.
I'll let you catch your breath. I'll let you get ready here. Sebastian went down. Sebastian, how did you go down there? Was that an overlap of wheels?
No, too fast.
Oh, too
Can't
fast.
believe it, but
You can't believe it.
that I'm go that fast.
Sometimes when you're a beast, Sebastian, your own abilities will surprise you. Go on, Metronome. Go on, Shark. Go on, Judge. Sebastian has got his teammate, but in this, nobody is a teammate because it's the solo. It's the CVRcade Solo Cup. Individual riders have got to pull on through here as we've got Sebastian Kuhn with his power-ups coming on back here as he's fighting now. He's got Racer's Edge. He's got weight lifted. He gets back on touch. So with the crash, it's been negated, but it cost him power-ups as he's come on back here now, as you'll see Sebastian Kuhn make it to the back with 199. He's got a fight to come on through. So now Sebastian 199, he comes through, he gets careful, you can see his eyes just widen up there as he does not want to make the same mistake. We've got Ben Shuilong in the chat saying, you never know, Timothy, keep on pushing, but it sounded like Timothy already had his eyes down the road, and Timothy winning the first race, if he can mitigate his losses here, he might have a chance going forward into Sci-Far or Loop, because we did see on Sci-Far or Loop, which is the race after this, that some of the riders got tired, some of the riders got fatigued, and now it'll be interesting to see how this race finishes on up. You got Jonathan, you got Quinten, you got Sebastian. Let's not forget the unsung hero, because Homer didn't make it into the stream, I'd like to reiterate. He was lined up, but it doesn't look like he made it in. But Homer Thompson, from the word go, has been on his own on the front, and it's just stayed that way. He's got 22 seconds down to the chasing group. He's at 187 equalized heart rate here. And he is not looking to come back anytime soon. He's got Quinten, Jonathan, Sebastian so far back in the rearview mirror that they might be back into January. He doesn't mind. And now you've got Quinten Molyneux going on to the attack. He's getting ready here as Quinten comes on through. Homer Thompson though as well. Like, this is incredible what he's been able to do all the way through this, because physical equalization, as I mentioned before, doesn't take the physical component out as Quinten Molyneux goes on to the attack. Sebastian Kuhn follows it here with Racer's Edge and weight lifted. 30 kilograms lighter. Razor's Edge makes you aerodynamic for 10 seconds. He's going to come around. Quinten is going to attempt the block here. He doesn't get it. Sebastian Kuhn there, coming on through with the power. He swipes all the way through. He's going to crash here. He's going to need the quantum shift. Oh, he doesn't even use the quantum shift. He goes into Jonathan. Oh, he could have used the quantum shift, which faces through Quinten Molyneux. And instead, Quinten comes on through here and just takes out not one, but 2 cognition riders at once. And so Sebastian, with the potential for a quantum shift, the power that makes you phase through the other riders, doesn't use it, opts to brake instead, and Jonathan had all the momentum and slides right into him. Now, Lantro saying, is Homer on pace to set a track record? He could very well be. I'm interested to see what the track record is, because he's been going strong for a while here, as we got 1.5 kilometers to go for Homer Thompson. Jonathan down in 4th. Then Jonathan goes down. Sebastian doesn't have to go back here. Moving on up, you've got Homer Thompson still in the lead. 1 kilometer remaining as he comes on through. I think Casey Shaw might still be in the broadcast if we move on up here and see. I'm not sure he is. It looks like it is a black screen. But Homer Thompson in the chat right now. Let's hear it for the man, the myth, the legend, the rider that everyone comes here to see. It says, I ain't dead yet. He's got the beard flowing in the wind, and now you can only imagine the virtual rider of Homer Thompson as he seems secured. Are we able to go here too? We got the side-by-side screen of Sebastian and Quinton. Quinton is in 2nd. He's 3 seconds up, so he's managed to sustain his lead here on the descent. And this is important because the positions here change the points. Quinton currently 86 points on up. That's coming into Sci-Far R loop here as we come to the sea. I see Casey is in the chat here, so we will get a word from him in between the next few races. But on the front, it is none other than Homer Thompson, who's got one more turn to the right. He's got a straightaway, and then he can zip up his jersey, as we know, and we get to see the celebration. A shame we don't get Homer Thompson on the stream, but a performance like this, but we will never know what it could have been. Sebastian and Quinton coming into the finish here. The power-ups from Quinton Molinez. He's got it down. He's got quantum shift weight lifted and everything here in the end. Sebastian comes on through. See, we got Mr. Dinkleberry back here in as well. Jonathan Heron comes across in 4th. Timothy down in 5th. And we've got Vibeke Bertram as well as Timothy comes across the line. See, Casey Badger saying it's a little hard to see the leaderboard for the race. Yes, so Casey Badger, we are aware of that, and everything is changing. If you've been watching the stream, even today, changing items one by one, the scoreboard and the bottom will definitely go away. We will make it bigger. If you saw the double side, the side-by-side screen, that's substantially grown from earlier today as well. And you'll see a few more improvements, and that's happening with the stream. Let's go to an instant replay. As Homer is saying he is in the stream here. Make sure you're on the VMix call, Homer. Make sure you're in the VMix call so we can get you, because I can see here on my end you're not coming on through. So make sure you're using the appropriate VMix call given to you by our producer, Victor Lundquist here, as Homer has spoken. No, I think we all wanted Homer on stream. It's such a shame, but it is what it is in the end. We'll get a competitive analysis here from Casey, who I believe is still in the call here. Casey, watching that race, talk me through. You've won it once today. Was that the correct way of winning it from Homer?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you can just ride away, what a performance by Homer. That was a huge effort. It didn't look like, I mean, just watching the guys' faces, the powers, the heart rates, you know, Sebastian, Jonathan, Quinton were working really hard. I think Timothy would have been there too had he not had the heart rate issue. But, yeah, I mean, that was a big effort by Homer. So we'll see how that shapes up for the rest of the hour. He sure would have burnt a lot of matches there. So we'll see if he's got anything left for the brutal win.
Now, I'm hoping also that Homer comes in here, because I know he's trying to navigate his way, and I think we all want to see it. Thank you, Casey. Quinton, that last race, I've just seen in the chat here, you're saying you're going to lend Sebastian saying?
Yeah, I am dead. I'm maybe a little bit angry.
Angry? What are you angry at?
Oh, I'm not angry at anyone. It's just that when he said he was dead and angry, he was even better. So that's what I'm saying. I'm dead and angry.
I got it. That went. See, this is it. I'm rusty too. It's been a week and a half for me. So, Quinton, in this race, it is your 3rd Omnium on the day. Is it the honor that's making you do this? Is it the points? Is it the money? What makes you keep coming back for more?
I think it just, well, on one side, I just want to try and get as many points as I can. I know that the best 2 results count for 1 week. But on the other side, I'm not the one racing on a Thursday. So I only have like 2 big days in my week, which are the Tuesdays and the Saturdays then. So I'm just trying to make the most of it.
I like it. So how come you're not racing the Derny Cup?
I am racing the Derny Cup.
Oh, you're on a keyboard.
Yeah.
I see. You just want your crisps. You just want your Coke. You just want to watch the world burn. We get it, Quentin. You've been impressive today. As I'll let you just mentally, physically rest up because, you know, you are technically clever because I've been coming to everybody doing the racing and it makes for really good viewing. But you've got your headset off. We've got to find a way to keep it on. But Quentin, breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. Hold on to your hats and whatever else, your scarves, because Homer Thompson has entered the building. Homer, can you hear me?
Great. Yeah, I hear you.
Homer, talk me through that last race, because you shattered the track record, I believe. At least the streamed version.
I don't have anything to talk about. I just ride. I don't know anything about tactics or anything else. I just ride the ride. So.
Well, you don't need... Well, I guess it is a strategy, but when you're that powerful... I mean, Casey Shum was just speechless when it came to your performance there, Homer. What came on over you? Because there was no stopping you.
I don't know. You know, some days you just feel... Some races you feel good and some races you don't. So that one I felt good on. So I guess that's what came over me.
Now, the question Casey Shum had for you is whether or not you can recover in time to go again. How is the status of the body currently?
Oh, I wore out, so I probably don't have much to give in this, but yeah, I'll do my best.
Well, Homer, that's all we can ask. Good luck here in CVR Loop. Now, I did also see out of the corner of my eye, Jonathan Heron was in for a second. Jonathan, make sure to reconnect when the time is right. I think our executive producer is talking to you right now. So make sure to join back in because we had Vibeke. She came in. We had Homer has come in. And I know that Jonathan Heron as well is jumping in here while we've got 40 seconds of downtime. So make sure to chat. We're at the halfway point of the racing. We've had 2 races done here in Zone L. Winner, $30. Second place, 20. Third, 15. Fourth, 10. Fifth place, 5. It's for the Omnium. You've got the scoreboard right up here. It's bigger. Hopefully, Badger can see it and the rest of you. So, with 20 seconds to go, guys, we are completely revamping how the broadcast looks and feels. And we're doing it step by step by step because we want to make sure that at the end of the day, the broadcast functions stable and you can watch it. So keep an eye. See if you can spot anything that changes from broadcast to broadcast. Here we go. I've got the confirmation. The pocket rocket. The blocket rocket. The man whose smile can make anybody weak in the knees. Jonathan Heron is in here. And he's ready to go. He's 5th currently on the scoreboard. But CVR Loop, I reckon this one is going to really change up the standings. Sebastian Kuhn has won this race in the past. As Seb usually goes from the gun. Him and Tim Fulford, they take initiative early on CVR Loop because they understand how to race this one. So we'll see if Sebastian can do so. I think upset with his crash on Temple Run by going too quickly. We'll see if this one is going to be any different. Allison is happy that Jonathan is in. Homer Thompson, the winner of the last race. Here is the man, the myth, the legend. He's brought another shirt to the fashion show, everybody. I think Milan should be watching, Paris should be watching, Los Angeles are on their knees because this man is setting an example, one shirt at a time. I mean, when the skins come into the game, I know which 2 skins I'm buying first. It's definitely Ain't Dead Yet, and then it's this one. Homer Thompson, man, what he can show is amazing. Now, on the flip side of the pack, we've got Beth York down in 7th. We saw her early on at 200 equalized heart rate. battling a bit of a cold. When you do travel, it's tough, you know, the recycled air in the planes, they make you feel like a bit groggy. You've got to come on, you got to fight it on out. So Beth York doesn't look to be her day just yet here. So we move on up to Jonathan Herone here on the wheel of Quinton. Timothy and Homer, though, have gone again while we're at the back. Homer Thompson is just breaking away here. So this time, though, he's got a passenger, and I'm not sure he's brought the ticket inspector here. Timothy Tamont. Make sure to unmute your microphone this time, Timothy. Just saying it. Timothy. Oh, Quinton. Actually, sorry. Quinton has just gone down. Quinton further down the road, and he blocks Chien. That could be his day over. That could be Zone L over for Quinton Mullinays. He's still, as long as he finishes top 5, he takes home money, he takes home points. But on the front here, we've got Timothy, we've got Homer Thompson here. Now, make sure you have unmuted your microphone, Timothy, as we're coming around this corner. I'll let you come through the corner safely here. Don't go making any mistakes into the Garcia corner. As Homer is sitting there, he slides on through. Timothy goes to the edge, but he doesn't crash. Homer is nice and safe. Oh, Homer goes down, and Timothy's not happy. Oh, I'll bring that one up on the replay because we know exactly what happened there. Homer, he moves to the right. He's gone over the speed, and he moves one lane in when he doesn't need to. He's got the speed too high. This looks like we just missed it on the instant replay. Hopefully, we've got it secured here. Here's the longer one. So, Homer on the left. He comes on through and he moves a lane over. He moves into a lane where the corner speed. Look at his reaction. Both of them. They see in the chat. Just lets it be known. Homer Thompson. But he can come back. If there's somebody who's got the ability to fight on through, it's Homer Thompson. Jonathan Herone here in 4th. He's coming on up. He's on the up and up here, 193. Looking at his shoulder, he is a Cade competitor, so he is equalized, and he's got a chance. Vibeke Bertram is not out of this yet. Let's not forget, Country Rally is the last race here. This Omnium is gonna, just like the previous Omnium, it's wide up into the air. And you've got to fight for your right to party, because you've got to get every single point you can, because Quinton Mullinays is not giving up either. 1,000 equalized watts from Quinton. He's got his inertia. He's thrown everything in here. And don't worry, that's not a freeze frame. That's Quinton standing as still as possible to he's going to slide on through. Forced to use the corner caber there. I don't think he wanted to use it, but forced to use it as he's made contact back. Quinton Mullinays can still win this Omnium. That is incredible from the Team Cycling Hub rider. The Season 1 Grand Finale champion of Season 1 CVRcade World Cup. Winner of almost $6,000 so far. Has come back and has made it to the front of the group. Quinton Mullinays. Absolutely fantastic gameplay. But he's now on the back foot. He's used all his power-ups. He's got none left. He's going to have to fight this one out with his legs. He's going to let the legs do the talking here. Clever move. But can he finish it off? Because Homer's got power-ups. Timothy's got power-ups. Jonathan, Vibeke, Seb, Beth. This is going to be a very tight race to the end. Ballon Dame was asking, how do you change lanes from the bike? You use your keyboard. If we can swap here to me on the racing here, I will show you. So we've got Homer on your keyboard as you ride. Left and right on the keyboard. Don't worry, I'm not trying to play Guitar Hero here. Left and right on the arrows will make you move on your lane. Homer Thompson, though, if we can cut to him here, you'll see Homer Thompson's gonna have to react to this move because Quinton has gone, Timothy has gone. How much has Temple Run taken out on the legend? That is Team Cognition's Homer Thompson. Because he's in 3rd right now with 106.5 points. He gets on the wheel of his teammate. You gotta be careful though, because you can crash in this corner. Jonathan saves it. Will Homer make the same mistake twice? This is where he crashed earlier. He doesn't change lanes, but he needs to accelerate on through. Quinton is currently leading out on track here. He's behind Timothy, and with the 7 km/h wind, you've got to find shelter. 2.3 kilometers to go. Timothy, unmute your microphone. Talk me through this race, Timothy. You've got a chance here at winning it. Will you win it?
Probably not, but we'll see how I go.
I like it. You've got Jonathan coming up to your side here. Jonathan's at 200. We'll try and go to the block at Rocket. Jonathan, how do you feel? Last lap coming up.
Okay, I've been sick past week and a half, 2 weeks.
Well, I'll let you get ready.
You get that?
I heard you. I got you. I'm trying to process it just like you are. But Jonathan has been sick. He's in here. Now we got Sebastian in here. Homer's back. This is all coming down to the last lap. Get ready for inertias. They've got wind at their back, inertia. They've got corner caber and path of least resistance. Somebody has got to wind it up. Vibeke is the first victim. Homer presses the wrong button. I think that was the incorrect button for inertia. Or it could have been him just keeping it at 43. Maybe he opted to just get a rest here at 43. But no, but there goes the first inertia. Now he's gonna have to fight on through because somebody else will launch theirs. Homer is just gonna take this from the front. This is a man who's on a mission to just tick off every single rider one by one. But here comes Sep. Sep with wind at his back. 53. He's got inertia on the right. Nobody attempts the block. Very sportsmanlike conduct from everybody out here. No flags to be seen. No 10-yard penalties here. 15-yard penalties. And Sebastian Kuhn at 200 equalized heart rate has gone on to the attack here. Mixer chat. Do you think this will stick? He's currently 2 points ahead of Timothy Tamont, but anything can happen here. So we're getting the side-by-side loaded up. You'll see in third place, Timothy. In first place, Sebastian. Homer comes back again. He ain't dead yet. He just keeps on going. 900 meters. Sep's got a 7-second lead here. Homer, Timothy, Jonathan, Quinton, all within each other. But Sebastian Kuhn, for a second time here on Sci-Fi or Loop, is laying down the hammer, as Alison Kubota is putting it in the chat. But this is the tough bit. You're about to hit the 2% incline. Timothy has got power-ups left. I think Jonathan does too. This is all or nothing. Time to use it. But the meters are ticking down while the time's ticking up. Timothy stands up. 1,400 equalized watts. He's giving it everything. He passes Jonathan. He passes Homer. He uses inertia. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Sebastian has got corner caper. Did he use it early though? This might run out in this corner. Nope, he's safely on through. And Timothy gets passed by Jonathan Heron. Jonathan Heron here has got the possibility of catching up to Sebastian Kuhn, but he takes off his headset. He's not even sure. He is done. He doesn't even think Timothy can come on back, but it is Sebastian Kuhn who will go on to win the race. And while Jonathan took off his headset. Oh, be careful. Timothy's coming quick. Oh, Sebastian celebrates it while Timothy Tamont waited way too long in his power-ups. Maybe he needs to reevaluate this race in terms of his power-up usage. As Homer, oh, we got him just crossing the line. He gets off the bike. Quinton, valiant effort there to get on back. And Vibeke Bertram crosses in 6th. Beth York is further down. You can see the Velocity rider catching his breath. There was a second there where I thought Sebastian might get crossed on the line as Timothy power up, and then he just ran out of road at the end. As Allison said, that was an incredibly hard race. But we come into the last race now, everybody. Sebastian with 118.5. Timothy at 116.5, Quinton at 114.5. There's 4 points between the top 3 riders currently. But Quinton and Sep, I believe, are currently on for matching bonus points. So Timothy here is at a 10-point disadvantage because he's wearing some t-shirt, I think, not matching his yellow kit in the game. So you need, if you're Timothy, to really go out and win this in style above the rest. Homer, I don't think has a matching kit. Jonathan, I'm not sure. I'll let the deciding team look at it. But we got Bullum Dio with the sparks, oh, thank you so much. Might have to join Bullum, CVRcade.com. Download it right now. PC, Xbox, get in. The winner of this race, overall Omnium, wins $30. We've got Sebastian lined up here. Now, Jonathan taking off his headset. I'll need to hear in a second from Jonathan, because that is the strangest decision I have seen from a rider. Well, before we go to Seb, let's just hear quickly from Jonathan. Jonathan, you took off your headset there. Was that just the calmness? You knew you were going to win? You knew Timothy was going to come through? Or were you just tired of listening to me?
My headset died. It's Bluetooth. So now you're through my speakers. You hear a little echo at the top right now.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, Jonathan, that clears it up. That makes me happy that you're not tired of me yet. Thank you. This relationship can keep going on. Let's go to Sebastian, who won the last race here on Sci-Fi R Loop. Sebastian, you just seemed like you were in your zone. You fought it out. You had your gap. Talk me through that race from your perspective.
I was lucky that no one else used wind at his back and the inertia like me. I thought they all would follow me, and so I saved it for myself to the finish.
You're now in the lead. 4 points to Quinton, 2 points to Timothy. Who do you reckon is the biggest threat of the two, and who do you think you don't have to worry about?
Both of them are much better than me on these technical courses. I know they ride hours and days and weeks on the controller on these technical courses and train for it. I don't. I ride outside and I get surprised every time about the corner speeds and obstacles and so on.
Well, both of them. There's another political answer. Everybody's so nice on the CVRcade platform. Carl, all three of them. Sab is like, nah, whatever. Let's go and hear the real story from Timothy Tamont. Timothy, that last race, your power-up usage could be in question. What were you thinking?
Yeah, that was... Okay, I'm good. Yeah, that was my bad. I think I still would have had it, but yeah, I got blocked by Jonathan, which is fair play, like fair play, no worries there. But I think I would still gotten Sebastian at the line if I didn't get blocked there, but that's fine. If I went with Sebastian when he attacked, I wouldn't be in that situation, so that's all on me. But I think it's just Quinton that has a matching kit, by the way. Cause I think Sebastian's wearing the Vision kit.
Oh, it could be, correct.
So yeah, Quinton's actually like 10 points ahead of us. So we'll see.
I think Quinton stated correctly, whoever wins this wins, unless it could be... I'm not even... We'll see when the racing gets underway. Timothy...
Oh yeah, it's 2.5, yeah, whoever
I'll
wins
ask you the same question, though, as I asked Sebastian here. Sebastian, Quinton, is there a rider you're more worried about? Is there a rider you're less worried about?
Nah, they're both like Sebastian. He'll probably try and attack from the gun, and Quinton will play the tactic game. And me saying that, maybe Quinton will attack. You never know. We just got to react to everything and try and win this one. This is it.
Well, good luck. Let's get a quick word from the hero that is Homer Thompson. Homer, they're all talking about each other. They're disregarding you for the time being. Are you going to show these young lads how to do this?
Yeah. They had better be worried about this one.
I like the fighting talk, Homer. Let's go. We got Jonathan Heron as well. Homer Thompson is ready. Jonathan, you put the block on Timothy. You're also within a shot of winning this. Country Rally, you ready?
I'm ready to help Homer or Sebastian, either one.
Oh.
I'm just here for the fun.
We should call this a CVRcade not so solo cup after Casey's comment earlier. You got Jonathan's comment earlier here. You better get on a team anytime soon here in the solo cup. We got 10 Burns back for more as well. Let's go. 30 seconds remaining. Vibeke and Beth also in the broadcast. We'll let them get rested up as we know they're talking strategy. There's $30 for whoever wins the Omnium. $20 for second, $15 for third. And this is real money. Real money, not some V-Bucks, not some other virtual currency, not like Jesper Points. Well, Jesper Points is better, but there's real US, United States dollars on the line here. Let's go. Let me hear it in the chat right now. 4.8 kilometers. Whoever wins this, I believe, pretty much wins the Omnium. It is all or nothing. You've got to finish the cake here. Even though it's got icing on top, it's got chocolate, it's got vanilla, it's got strawberry. You better finish on up here because This is what's been put on your plate. We got Jonathan Heron here into the first corner at 46-47. This is going to be a tricky left turn here. As you've seen riders going down. Tam Burns is back for more, and he goes down. You got Quinton moving up here on the inside. He's won this race before. He let Casey take the victory as Jonathan Heron goes down. That is the block it rocket. He goes into the hay bales, and then Musk goes down too. Now he's going to have to wind up the cadence. Vibeke Bertram has taken the lead on the front. She's in 4th place. She has 169 points, and she's going to need some help from Team Hive's Timothy Tamut, Team Cognition Sebastian Kuhn. Then we've got Homer Thompson, Beth York in 5th and 6th. You heard Homer say, let's show these guys how it's done. Don't count me out yet, but he's trying it. Timothy this time, though, with an uncrashable. He's moving on through. Very early usage of the uncrashable here from Timothy to overtake Quinton. We'll see if that risky move is going to pay off, because that is a very valuable power-up. It makes it so, as the name suggests, you cannot crash for 10 seconds. Even if you slide out in a corner. Even if you hit a lock or a road or a piece of furniture, you cannot crash. But that power-up is no longer in his repertoire. He's only got a power plant left, and he's up against a velocity rider on a mission. This is the Viking pillaging. She's got her ship sailing. She's got the sail. She's got the tailwind. And she can see the finish line. She can move on up. She can win another. Oh, and she goes down! Oh, Vibeke visibly unsatisfied. Let's quickly get a word. Vibeke, just describe to me the agony right now.
Man, it's doing so great.
We feel for you, Vibeke. I'll let you get back. I know that's not fair, but I had to bring up the instant replay on that one, because just go through the 5 phases of crashing. She doesn't see Timothy on her left. She goes down, and she knows it. But Timothy has taken the advantage on the front. He's currently leading the Omnium, 12 points ahead of Quinton. That's the 2-point deficit that he needs. Right now is in Timothy Tamut's favor, I believe, as Quinton has got. So Quinton does have a 10-point deficit due to the matching kit bonus point classification available right now. As Timothy on the right, Sebastian down in 3rd. Quinton is the middleman you'll see in the team cycling hop colors. Sebastian's got a chance here as well, but he's got to move up. Now remember, Quinton and Sebastian have not used their crashables just yet. We're about to hit the halfway point in the racing, and they've got an opportunity to attack when need be here. So now we're going to see what's happening from Quinton and Seb's point of view, because they've got an opportunity to go. Here goes Quinton, power plant, 100 extra equalized watts for 5 seconds. It's quick, it's boosty, it's like taking a sip of an energy drink. It gives you wings, only long enough to maybe eventually feel the crash when you come back down. So Jonathan goes down, and Vibeke goes down again. They go down at the line, and Vibeke can't believe it. She was within a chance. She was going to come forth. Jonathan also not a lumberjack by any means of the imagination, as he hits the lock as well. But now on the front. 2 kilometers left. 2 laps remaining. We're coming to the hay bales. Quinton has done his 3rd Omnium. This is the 3rd hour of racing for Quinton Molyneux. He's already won $30 this morning. He's possibly taking more money in Zone K. And now he's gonna take... He could walk away with $100, if not more, from riding his bike. Free to play in CVRcade. That's just unheard of. Like, think about this. In cycling, when you go outside, you pay your entry fee. If you're lucky, you get your money back. Quinton is about to get his money back and then some. I mean, that is what you talk about racing that makes sense. Quinton, 1.6. Sebastian comes on through as well. Homer's further back. Vibeke, despite her 2 crashes, still has a chance here. Now, we have to look at the situation, the permutation. It's down to the 3 expected riders. Timothy Tamont, Quentin Molyneux, Sebastian Kuhn. Quentin 189.5, Timothy 181.5, Sebastian 176. But Sebastian goes for the overtake. He comes across, he's got the front here, power plant as well, and Timothy and Quentin side by side, they can't move. Sebastian is currently winning the Omnium, $30, looking to go to Sebastian, and this is it, last kilometer, let's hear it in the chat, last lap, $30, 3 riders, 1 wins. Will it be Seb? Will it be Timothy? Will it be Quentin? All or nothing. Here we go. Seb with Uncrashable. He slides on through. He goes through Bonnie the barn door. Allison is in the chat. We've got Casey in the chat as well. Now Quentin with his power up, as he is attempting to make it back, but there's nothing left. He's running on empty. He's on Route 66, and all he can see is desert around him here. We go back to the front here. 199 for Seb, 189 for Timothy Tamont. How much does he have left? No power-ups available. It comes down to the final corner. Sebastian goes left. Timothy goes left. Timothy and Sebastian are both nailing every single corner. I reckon Sebastian has got this, and you look at the scoreboard, and Sebastian right now is winning the $30, but Timothy is gaining. Here he comes. He's going 1 kilometer an hour quicker. 300 meters. You can see the numbers tick down. Timothy looks on up, but Sebastian, when he gets in this mode, there is no looking back. He's at his absolute max, 199. He moves on right. He's on Victory Boulevard. Timothy's got power plant, but it is too little too late. Sonel, CVRcade Solo Cup champion and winner of $30. Sebastian Kuhn, pending official results. Now, Quentin Molyneux comes across the line in 3rd. Then you've got Homer Thompson with the ride of the day. I mean, if we look across the zone so far, Sci-Far, R-Loop, Temple Run, Homer Thompson, man, that guy, give him a star on Hollywood Boulevard. I want to see it. I want to go and personally witness that. Jonathan Heron, great racing. Vibeke Bertram. Vibeke, I just want to hear, do we need to call AAA?
Please, stop moving to me. I crash every time.
Oh, great racing though, Vibeke. It's so close. Dial in those small mistakes, and instead of 6th, you're looking at 3rd, 2nd, 1st. I'll let you catch your breath. We've got Beth York cross the line, battling some illness, some cold, but this is why the World Cup is 8 weeks long, 7 weeks of racing, gathering points, then the grand finale. Beth York will smile us across the finish line. Let's load up the instant replays, the highlights of Country Rally. Lanceril did ask if Homer set a record on Temple Run. I'm sure somebody can go have a look and confirm if that is the case, that Homer has the best time. Here you go. Jonathan Heron, early mistake, and he knows it. Just look at the gear the guy is spinning. Well, grinding, spinning is not really the term I use. And Timothy Tamont here, Vibeke. This is, the agony moment of the day, as there's no reason to move left. None whatsoever. It's just your mind going, I could move left. I should click left. I shouldn't click left. I shouldn't click left. I'm going to click left. No! That's exactly what happened to Vibeke in that moment. As you see the finish line, 200 meters. When Seb gets laser focused, he just cuts through everything with his eyes. He cut through Timothy, cut through Quentin, and the rest. Pending official results, by the way, I think Quentin with 10 extra bonus points does pass Timothy by half a point and takes a 2nd place, I reckon. We'll, of course, wait official results, but if that's the case, that is heartbreak for Timothy. And Quentin, I mean, he's making bank. He's getting ready for his kids, savings. He's thinking about the future by racing on Cade. Sebastian, congratulations. That was not easy. Man, where do we even begin? That was back and forth. What did you think of that race?
A free beer to Jonathan and Homer. Best teammates. It was a small field and I was lucky. Had good teammates. So not worth to mention this win.
Well, now, Seb, this is a good start to the CVRcade Solo Cup. There's 3 cups going on. There is the Solo Cup, the Derny Cup, and the CVRcade World Cup. How are you prioritizing? What are you looking at as the races you really want to win? Is it the Solo, Derny, or World Cup?
Yeah, Team Cognition wants to win all of them. We prepared for this, so watch out.
I like it. Fighting words from Seb. Now, $30, Seb, if it is you when everything is confirmed. What does $30 go to in the Seb Kuhn world?
It goes to Team Cognition.
Oh, sharing the prize pot. If you listened to the interview with Moti Pikelny, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. Seb, congratulations once again, of course, pending results. Timothy, that race, it just seemed like you were ever so close. Just there, but you couldn't close the gap. Was that how you felt too?
Yeah, sorry, I'm really eating something. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I couldn't close it. I think I wasted too much energy on the second race for nothing because I didn't get back in the end. So if I would just kept it steady with the bots there, I would have saved a lot more energy and maybe had something left here to take it. But yeah, that's that. We still got third, so it's still a podium. Yeah, looking forward to the rest of the week. Definitely.
Now, racing here with money, Timothy. How does that amplify the emotions, the preparation? Because now it's no longer run-up. Now it's for real. And there's 8 weeks of this going forward. How does that change your day-to-day?
Not much, to be honest. I'm always busy with CVRcade, if it's for money or not. I'm always looking to improve, always practicing. The grind never stops, you know. So, yeah, it's a really nice bonus, and it does, like, I guess it boosts you in some way when you're on the bike. But during the day, when you're thinking tactics, it's not really in the back of my mind. But for racing, definitely, yeah.
Now, Jennifer is making a note about you and your post-race snacks. I did think it was interesting. Now, I had a Mexican lollipop. What is your post-race snack of choice today?
Just some jelly beans. Just something with a little bit of sugar in, just to get some sugar in me, because I haven't really eaten anything today yet. Had a hard day at work, so yeah.
Can't go wrong with it. Timothy, thank you for racing. I did hear from the support team that Moti Pikelny currently holds the top spot on tempo run at 6 minutes and 3 seconds. Could you, support team, let me know exactly what permutations of the leaderboard that is, if that's with power-ups, physical, and with drafting, just to be sure. But Moti Pikelny, it does sound like holds the top spot. So despite Homer's fantastic effort, he may not have taken the top spot. There might be an even quicker one. Now, so Homer might have the ride of the day, but I think we can all agree on the rider of the day so far, with Zone T still pending. Quentin, let me ask you the upfront question first. Would you be crazy enough to attempt the 4th zone tonight?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If I didn't have a job interview to be at tomorrow morning, I probably would have, just to do it for the meme. But I have a job interview to do, so I need to go to bed.
Now, are you going to open that job interview with, do you know I'm kind of a big deal? I'm the CVRcade World Cup Season 1 Grand Champion?
I'm not sure if that is very applicable in the job that I'm going for, so...
Oh, it's universal. That carries weight wherever you go. So if you're in the shopping mall and you stand by the cashier, they'll let you cross the line. But Quentin, I'm not actually sure how much money you won so far, but this is just the beginning here. I mean, it is impressive what you've been able to do today across 3 zones. What advice would you give to other riders, brave enough to attempt the triple?
Don't do this to yourself. Really, it's not worth it. I've been getting cramps since the 3rd race of the last Omnium, and I've went to a place that I haven't been at in a very long time. So probably my curve will be a little bit messed up as well, and I'll pay for it in the next weeks. And, I mean, the pain isn't really that fun after you finish. So just don't.
Well, once you see all the results stack up, I'm pretty sure once you're sitting down, or on Thursday, when you're racing the CVRcade Derny Cup, you're eating your crisps, having your Coke, and you're watching everybody else, I think you'll be very happy with your life decisions. Again, Quentin, rider of the day for me at least. Very well done across 3 zones. It's great to have you here in the broadcast. Quentin Molinez, everybody. Homer Thompson. Now, Homer, you come fourth. Despite not making the first race, do you feel like there could have been more from you today? Could you have won today if you came into the first race?
No, the sprint. No, I can't. I'm not able to do the sprints, those sprint races. I can't stay in the group. So, no, it wouldn't have made a difference.
I'm not sure about that one, Homer, but let's talk about Temple Run again, because I think that's going to go down in history. Now, we're all a bit sad we didn't get to see it in live in time, but could you paint a picture? What did it look like in Homer Thompson world when you were solo for 3 laps?
I was just hoping that I could stay solo for 3 laps.
But it succeeded. Now, will we see more of that in the future? Because I think that has now been coined the Homer Thompson Beast maneuver. Is that something you think other riders will attempt to replicate?
Oh, I hope that I can replicate it, but I don't know if I can or not. But I think the guy we need to talk about today is Sebastian Kuhn. He was the man today.
Definitely. So what did you like about Sebastian's riding?
You know what? I like everything about Sebastian's riding. I like his demeanor. He's such a modest person. He just gets out there and gets the job done. He's my hero.
You know, Homer, how you feel about Sebastian is how the majority of everybody feels about you. So I hope you also take that in. And it's amazing to hear one rider talk about another rider. Homer, will we see you back for Zone T tonight?
I may try it.
That's the spirit. Well, now, Homer, if you attempt it again on Temple Run, I reckon they might be aware to the fact that they probably shouldn't give you 20 seconds. Thank you, Homer, and we'll see you later on tonight for Zone T. Now, I think Jonathan Herone has headed out and taken a shower, and I think Vibeke... No, Vibeke is still in here. We'll get a word from Vibeke Bertram. Vibeke, I mean, one crash, the first crash. You changed the lanes on Country Rally. Why did you move left?
I don't know. I was just trying to make sure he didn't pass me. I don't know. That's just plain stupid. I do that every time. I thought I had told my mind to stop doing that, but I don't know.
Oh, just the whole facial expression that you went through was just legendary. Now, what do you take away? When you go back to the drawing board later tonight or tomorrow, what are the key components you'd like to improve to move up in the rankings?
Oh, more focus. I was not focused enough today, having trouble comparing where I was on the map and corner speeds and too much going on. I don't know. I wasn't prepared wasn't prepared enough. So better prep time, more focus, definitely.
You've got 7 more weeks, 8 more weeks to do this, so I'm sure we'll see. Once we see the laser focus of Sebastian Kuhn just transfer over to you, Vibeke, I think everybody is going to get really scared real quick. But Vibeke, it's good to see you on. You've been getting really strong. I remember Summit Islands the other day. I remember seeing you win the Omnium. I think there's more of that in store. Last but not least, let's go to the Glitter Queen. Beth, it wasn't... I see you're ready. Beth, that was the first time back. The body, the mind. How was that experience?
Oh yeah, I'm sitting in here just like talking to Vibeke after the race, like having just like a chit chat about, oh, that would do that, and we're chatting the whole time. So I said to her, I'm going to use this to kind of rebuild my fitness. My heart rate was pinned really early. You could see that. I'm going to go in. I'm kind of a numbers geek, so I'm going to look at. I always look at my my analysis after and see my opportunities for improvement. But there's the fitness side of it, but there's also you just feel like you never want to give up. And well, maybe on Temple Run I wanted to give up because but then I didn't want to miss the next race. So good times, good to be back. Day 1 of 8 weeks, and as I was saying to Vibeke in the chat, you know, this is just the first week, and a lot is going to happen over the next weeks till we get to the grand finale. And I'm just psyched to watch it happen.
On the bright side, I didn't come to you while you were at 200 equalized heart rate more than once or twice. So it could have been worse, Beth. I commend you and the rest. This was something we tried out. Thank you very much, Beth. I'm excited to see more racing in T tonight as we've got Aaron Starlin in here, the studio. Now, we did try something different today, going to the riders more mid-race. Now, this is something I'd like to do more because it really brings out the personality, because when you're at your max and you get asked these questions, that's where the personalities comes through. You get this insight. I absolutely loved it. I hope you guys did that too, because I think we should be doing it more. I think we will be doing it more. I'm excited to see how that goes through. But we have the results now. Do stay tuned for the preliminary results where all the bonus points get added up. That will be posted on our social media channels in a not too distant future. We've got more racing tonight. Zone T takes place 7 hours from now. Aaron Starlin will be sitting right here in the commentary booth talking you through the racing. But that's it for Zones K and L here on this Tuesday night in the CVRcade Solo Cup. We've got more racing, 7 hours. Don't miss it. We'll be right back. But no, Beth, yours goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.